need some help from the group here on how to start the show because we've got in play Serena at Wimbledon, Mexico, 2-0. Are you chewing bacon? You're going to start chewing bacon? You're going to start eating your breakfast?
I didn't realize when it started.
It's the closest to the mic he's ever been.
Yeah.
How many pieces of bacon are you holding there?
Well, this is the best bacon I've ever had, and it's a rare double wide. When you get two pieces of bacon naturally, organically stuck together, it's just a beautiful thing. And this is I happen to be reading The Pride of a Lion, and these two slices of bacon were right in the book. Greg, right on page 85.
We're not on video right now. That would have been a great visual joke for people to see the bookmark as bacon in your book.
Mm-hmm.
He's in front of the mic. He's playing to the camera all during a time where it's not at all necessary.
It's perfect. I mean, I'm bragging about the bacon they have here.
I will say it's a beautiful piece of bacon. Greg, the color on that bacon is like a leather couch.
It's sublime. The taste, the thickness, it's all right on the mark. I didn't mean to interrupt the show. What were you saying?
We have LeBron possibly coming to Miami. We have the Marlins are the best team in baseball in June, mathematically, empirically.
I have a blue leather couch.
But you know what I mean, a red leather couch.
It is a real
You know what I'm talking about, Greg, right? Nice burgundy color on the bacon.
Oh, my God.
I need a new couch.
Perfect crunch.
Again?
Little combination of crunch and chew. Oh, my God.
Put it on the poll, please, at Le Batard Show. Do you know any adults out of college who have a blue leather couch? I want to know whether or not anyone in our audience knows someone else who has decided that a married couple who are adults and have a child have decided on the blue leather couch, because I only know one person like that. Yeah. That is, he finished in second place in the recent contest for Dad of Honor. Mike Ryan's the only person I know who's got a blue leather couch. Adult, not in college.
It's a good-looking couch.
I'm not saying
what's going on over here.
I'm not saying it's not a good-looking couch. I'm saying blue it's an aggressive choice. I'm not saying it's not a nice couch. I'm not criticizing the couch.
Seems like you're criticizing.
I'm talking about its rarity. I'm not criticizing the couch.
Well, what shade of blue is it? That's the key, because blue, among all the colors, blue can vary from like a light powder sky blue to an almost deep blue, like a sea blue, a burgundy almost.
This is a true blue.
Wow.
Like a Chelsea blue.
Put it on the poll, please, at Le Batard Show. Of all the colors, does the blue have the most range of colors? Because I think Cody might have this correct.
Yeah.
You have light blue, electric blue. Like there's a whole spectrum.
The whole spectrum of most colors.
Yes, but blue more than most.
Blue
Thank
more
you,
than
Chris.
most.
Great
Yeah.
intellect. You've been smarter ever since you were on Pablo Torre Finds Out. It's been amazing to watch. Yes, there is a whole spectrum for colors, but I believe Greg is right when he says more by name in the Crayola box once they go to 64. You can look this up actually. How many blues are in the Crayola box? Because that will at least help us start answering.
Depends.
The question.
Is it the extendo box? Is it the regular box? Is it the blue box?
I made it to 64. It can't be the blue box. There's a whole blue box.
They got a whole blue box.
There's
that proves it.
Do they have another box for another color?
There are 11 shades of blue in the Crayola 64.
I feel like Greg is he's got a burst of energy. It's like the bacon is like a superpower for him.
It is. Yeah, it is. You know why? Because I don't eat it every day. Okay, so when I see bacon, it's like a grand prize to me. It feels like I've just hit the lottery, and then I can't stop. Those are my 7th and 8th pieces of bacon this morning. Although when it's a double wide like that, you get to count it as one piece of bacon.
Yeah, counts as one.
Ball is back, Jack. The beautiful game is on a roll, and we'll have an eye on every goal, shouting magisterial. No need to back down. Just park the bus, stop the attack. Will the hand of God put your header back on track? Football is back, Jack. Mbappe's flying through the air. Ronaldo's here for one last prayer. Will Messi come out to play? Or is it victory for the USA? It's corner kicks when the box is packed. That's how you know that football is back, Jack. Let me hear you say, football is back, Jack. The time is here, open the gates. The long wait is over, so we'll yell, let's go States. No need to back down. Just strike the ball, start the attack. If you say this game's the best, I'll say the gag. Football is back, Jack. Football is back, Jack. Football is back. Football is back, Jack.
The LeBron thing to Miami is real, and I'm going to tell you why, even as I tell you that some of my information recently out of the Heat organization can be spotty because they're always very private, but also they're not terribly happy with me for a number of different reasons. But in the people that I have contacted, and I realized this last night, all of them are saying, I'll tell you how happy I am on July 6th. And I thought that was because that's when the Giannis thing can go through. It's because they've got a plan around Giannis that's about this year. It's not about 2 years from now. And when LeBron breaks up kind of quietly with his team, a lot of respect there for the Lakers and for Doncic. That's the first time LeBron has left a situation. That's the first time recently with these partnerships that they don't end kind of messy. And then the framing is LeBron tells the Lakers he's going to go elsewhere when they broke up with him, okay? They're allowing him to frame it, but they weren't going to pay him. And when you consider some of the moves and how they're making them, where the Wiggins deal can be traded the way that it's done, you're signing Hardaway, they've got money for LeBron. They're going to have more money than the Warriors to give LeBron. And the biggest thing, the most important thing, it's in the East. That's where all of his success is. Like, I know he won with the Lakers, but what he did for many years in that unprecedented run through the conference, it was always an easy conference, and it's still the easier conference. If you can't get past OKC and the Spurs with Doncic, you're not going to do it with Golden State and a team that's old when you consider that in the playoffs last year when all the players are broken. The oldest guys who got minutes among the top 25 were Tobias Harris and James Harden. Everyone else was under 32. You're not going to win with an old team in today's NBA. They cannot withstand the rigor of this. And I just really think the LeBron to Miami thing is real. It's not just something to talk about. It's not just because LeBron wants the attention. It's one of his options.
You're not going to win with an old team in today's NBA, but wouldn't Miami become an old team?
Yes,
they'd be old, but their centerpiece is 31, not Steph Curry's age. Yes, Miami is an old team. Like, Miami is already an old team with all of the things they're doing. They've gone from a young team, an old team. But what I'm telling you about that as the blueprint, it's for right now. Not 2 years from now, not 3 years from now. It's an old team to win the whole thing right now.
I spent a lot of time on this yesterday, and I was a little bit disappointed in myself that I was essentially fooled, or I fooled myself a couple of days ago when the Andrew Wiggins extension came out. And, 3 years, $64 million. I'll actually, let me back up for a second. If you're trying to look at teams who think that they have a shot at LeBron James, well, it's easy to point at the Warriors, right? Because Draymond Green opted out, and that's going to give them a chance to spread a little bit of money out.
They're the betting favorite. They're the overwhelming betting favorite to get LeBron.
So, hey, they must know something, right? They are positioning themselves to have a chance at signing LeBron. It's not going to be for a lot of money, all right? But Draymond gave them some flexibility. And when the Heat signed Andrew Wiggins to the extension, I was like, 3 years, $64 million. Nice. He's saving them about $9 million a year. They're going to be able to bring back Norman Powell. No. That's not actually what happened. Andrew Wiggins opted in to the last year of the deal for $30 million, saving the Heat no money this year. And it's an extension of 2 years after that for $17 million per. Why did he do that? Well, if we're talking about a trade, a sign and trade, a player like Wiggins, who the Lakers can use. I will never believe that LeBron is going to take any type of $6 million contract until I see it. But $30 million, when you're trading Andrew Wiggins' salary for LeBron will take $30 million, and it becomes very attractive, Dan, for the Lakers when Wiggins' salary next year drops to 17.
It's one thing with Wiggins, though, but what I'm telling you about how these architects do things, Ellisberg more than anybody, okay? The Giannis thing is a single piece, and once that's locked in, they have a splayed-out plan around him that is immediate. It's not to – look, Pat Riley's in his 80s, man, and he is notoriously impatient. This is not a person who has much tolerance and at very many points in his career has played with the young people he played with the last couple of years who netted him nothing in the way of real results. He does not trust young players. He didn't trust them as a coach. He does not trust them as a general manager and president. He wants to win with old veterans who have seen a little bit of everything. And I'm telling you, LeBron to Miami is real. And it's at least in part because there aren't a lot of other real competitors. Why would he go to Minnesota? Why would he go play with Lonzo? Why would he go play with Lonzo Ball and Anthony Edwards? I'm sorry, LaMelo Ball. Why would he go do that and play in Minnesota and live in Minnesota?
Dan, it was literally just, 3 weeks ago when the NBA Finals are going on, and we're talking about, okay, every free agent or every player that wants a trade is going to leave the Western Conference. And it's not just about Wembanyama. It's also about Oklahoma City. So LeBron's smart, man. He knows what a good basketball team looks like. LeBron thinks that going to Golden State and teaming up with Steph Curry, who played just 40 games this past year, and Draymond Green, and Jimmy Butler, who's not available until March, that team is beating Oklahoma City or San Antonio?
No, but more to the point, okay, what he has just seen and learned at the end of his career in Los Angeles with Luka Doncic at his side is defense is really important. And where do you get it? Here. This is where you get defense, and he won't have to play it. Like with those two guys behind him, he will not have to be the one playing the defense. He just learned the last couple of years with the Lakers, no matter how good Luka is, I could be by his side. We're terrible defensively. We do not have a chance against the two teams. We keep talking about the Spurs being young and OKC and the Spurs being young. Yes, they are. That's one reason to fear them. The greater reason to fear them, both of those teams, top 5 in defense.
Their front court is amazing defensively. They're unique in that they can come out to the perimeter, but Miami presently on their roster is very capable perimeter defenders as well. And LeBron can still defend, but he doesn't have to do it night in and night out.
LeBron hates playing down low, hates having to use the body, especially at this age. With Miami, he doesn't have to play big. Their two big stars are big. Right. He will not have to play big if he signs with Miami.
There's no question that Giannis and Bam make Miami a great destination, particularly for LeBron. But don't discount Cleveland, a homecoming with Cleveland, which is second in the betting odds behind Golden State, because I don't know at this point if LeBron is obsessed with one more championship. He's a multiple champion in a couple of different spots. If he's looking to play one more year and make it a homecoming, I wouldn't discount Cleveland.
Rich Paul, his agent, put at the top of the list in a happiness bucket that he said had 10 or 12 things, making sure to be competitive. He's not going to go. All of the teams that are going to be in play for LeBron, every single one of them is going to be competitive. He's not going to Utah. The options are limited. Like, he does not have the kinds of options that you would think that he would have because not a lot of people have the kind of money that he's going to need, and the Warriors are among the teams that at the moment don't have the money.
And the Warriors, not only that, the Cleveland Cavaliers, you want him to play with James Harden also for the twilight of his career, being like, all right, let me figure out how to get James Harden over the hump. Like, there's a lot there. If they even keep James Harden, right? Like, if they ship him out for an incoming trade with LeBron, then all of a sudden you're looking around saying, all right, I got Spider Mitchell, I got Evan Mobley and Jared Allen. All right, good luck. Like, is that competitive in the East?
Thank you for this segment. Market price on the Miami Heat to win the NBA Finals right now on the DraftKings Sports app, available in all 50 states, including your Sunshine State. Plus 1150. Took it.
It's good value because I will tell you again that it is real. It is more real than the idea that Windhorse is floating LeBron and Jaylen Brown teaming up with the Cavs.
What is that?
That's a mess.
Then you lose your front court. Are they going to trade Evan Mobley? Like, where does James Harden go?
But besides, like, Boston, when Boston trades Jaylen Brown, they're not trading him to a team that they're going to have to then beat in the playoffs. Like, they're not going to trade him to Cleveland.
Let's go out to the whiteboard where Jeremy Taché is the white person. Go ahead, Jeremy.
Hi. I have money here for all of these teams. So you have the Cavaliers, the Warriors, and the Miami Heat. I've written down where things stand at the present moment, but there's maneuverability with all of these teams. So presently, the Warriors have the non-tax mid-level exemption open in full. That's $15.1 million. But the only reason that's the case is because Draymond Green is presently unsigned. He opted out of a $27.7 million deal. So to be able to sign LeBron James outright and sign Draymond back, if LeBron was at that number, Draymond would be taking over a $10 million pay cut for this season. And they would then have to squeeze the rest of their players into the margins. It probably would end up being less than $17 million for Draymond. So that doesn't seem to be right. The guy they could be trying to move right now is Moses Moody to potentially clear up space. He makes $12.5 million. When you look at the Cavaliers, the Jaylen Brown idea was floated. You would need to be basically breaking up the team that you have. You have James Harden presently opted out. But the only thing at the moment that the Cavs can offer is the veteran minimum. They're over the salary cap. So they're trying to move guys reportedly like Dennis Schroeder and Max Strus, guys who are making $14.8 and $16 million respectively. And then you look over at the Miami Heat. Now, at the moment, after the Tim Hardaway Jr. signing, the Heat have $6.5 million left in their mid-level exemption. But that 15.1 can become available on the MLE if you move a Bobby Portis, who technically has not been traded to the Heat yet, and ship him somewhere else. If you're able to move Nikola Jovic. And as Zaz brought up, that Andrew Wiggins contract is most interesting right now. Having him opt in and then create what is going to be one of the better contracts in the league next year. A 32-year-old Andrew Wiggins at $17 million with a player option is going to be one of the better deals. So whether that's still on the Heat or moved elsewhere, like potentially those Lakers, there are all sorts of routes for the Heat to open up money. But the question becomes, could a team like the Timberwolves jump in, or even Dwayne Wade's Utah Jazz? Those are the questions we have to ask.
We don't have to ask that. I can answer both of those for you. No, you don't have to take Minnesota or Utah seriously.
LeBron and Utah last year. That would be so funny. Hey, I'm leaving, family. I'm going to go to Utah.
Yeah. So Bronny got his money guaranteed by the Lakers yesterday.
Yeah, good dad, LeBron.
Draymond is trying. Draymond is trying and has been trying for a while to figure out how to play with LeBron. Draymond represented by the same management team as LeBron. So is Anthony Davis. The Wizards are saying Anthony Davis is not on the market in any way, shape, or form. It is interesting to know that Draymond and LeBron have the same management team, because the maneuvering around the Giannis stuff, both in Miami, where I am assuring you that the Wiggins contract is not a success if Andrew Wiggins is here for all 3 of the years. They did that to have the flexibility to move him, because that is a valuable asset. He has been good for them, but they made a cheap, easy signing in Tim Hardaway Jr., and I'm telling you, the league is paying attention. Wait a minute. Giannis is going to go eat at the rim, and I can just shoot threes? So Tim Hardaway's got a 1-year deal, and he's saying, no, I was really good in Denver. I've become a really good three-point shooter. I'll never wear my father's number in Miami, because he's already told Udonis Haslem and Mike Miller that his kid ain't wearing his number.
Would you like to see your son in the Heat jersey? Do you think it happens before he retires?
I've been trying to get him in the Heat jersey, and he will not be wearing my number if he gets on the Heat team. He will not be wearing my number. Do you understand me? That number is never coming down. You are not going to wear
agree.
my jersey.
I agree.
You see how I walk now? It hurts when I walk.
That's why my jersey's
Right,
out
that's
there.
why my jersey's
I
out.
earned that jersey.
You are not going to wear my jersey. Then my wife be like, well, why not? Because he's not.
That is not a dad of honor. It's just not a dad of honor. What do you think of that? You're a selfish dad, Greg.
Sure I am.
What are your thoughts on holding back your sons? Like, it would be great if they took the number out of the rafters and draped Tim Hardaway Jr. in the Giant jersey.
I love Tim's attitude, and Tim Sr. is who I mean. He's being truthful. He earned that number. He earned the rafters. His son's had a nice career. He's played in the league like 12 years. He's a good sixth man. I think he's a good signing for the Heat, particularly if they lose Portis. Good three-point shooter, but he's not Tim Hardaway, the dad. And I love the fact that he's not just playing nice and saying, yeah, I'd love him to have my number. No, nobody's going to get my number because it's way up there.
I hate when players, they ask the retired jersey guy, can I have your number? No.
Yeah.
It's retired. That's what that means.
Yes.
All right, put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. If your jersey were retired, would you let your son wear it? Yes or no is the question. I just posed the question to the Dad of Honor last night. Las Rosas has a big semi-annual award where they give a Dad of Honor his honors for being a dad. And here you see a shocked and altered Zaslow out very late at 5 p.m. and out past his bedtime.
What are you in the Blue Man Group? What is this? They dyed you blue in there?
And that trophy is very small. The Dad of Honor trophy it doesn't seem like it's very large. Do you have it?
No, I left it there. I left it there because I want everybody who shows up to Las Rosas to remember, what happened that night, and that was me giving that award.
It's on proud. It's on proud display.
Yeah, that's right.
All of you are with Tim Hardaway Sr. on this. This is a funny repeat question we used to always ask on Highly Questionable. We would ask NBA players, when did your dad stop playing basketball against you? And all of them said, every one of them, it was a consensus, as soon as I got very close to beating him for the first time. Like, that's when the foul started, and that's where the aggressive play started, and I became bloodied, and he knew I was going to be better than him, and that's when he retired. And so there is a weird thing here with dads and competitiveness. I think it would be a great honor if they unretired the number exclusively just so his son could wear it, and then would re-retire it when his son was done playing for them.
Absolutely
That's
not.
the key for me. If it's going back up in the rafters after, then I would let my son wear it.
Absolutely
It
not.
besmirches the hallowed number. It really does. I mean, plus it's so ceremonial if you do it like that. Come on.
There's no caveat. We're retiring your number unless you want to take it down one day and give it to someone. No.
Not someone.
Yeah, someone.
Not someone. Someone who is literally a piece of you.
He's someone.
The only someone who can be a piece of you are the children.
Now, these numbers aren't retired, but they are honored by the Miami Heat. Numbers 23 and 6.
Correct.
So we're going to have to do something like that once LeBron gets here, which I am now certain is going to happen.
You're now certain?
Yeah, you guys laid out the perfect argument.
It's just enticing is what I'm telling you, and it's a legitimate option. It's real, and the Heat think it is something that can happen because I had not realized until last night because I've not been chasing this story because I know right now that they're not happy with me, and as it relates to some of the things that we do around here, we don't trade the access for favor. I'm going to try and do the job the way that is responsible to the audience. And so my information on Giannis has been very limited. But the fact that in one voice what's coming back to me is, I'll tell you how happy I am July 6th when I'm saying, hey, congratulations on getting Giannis. And it's not just Giannis. The utopia is not just Giannis. That Tim Hardaway Jr. knows what the plan is. If someone asked Tim Hardaway Jr. what he just decided to do for a year at $6 million with this particular time in his career, because he could have gotten more than that. Look up for me, please. I don't know if this is public or not, but I've heard Tim Hardaway talk about it, senior. So I don't think that he would mind me telling the story. I'm pretty sure that, while I don't have the facts, that Tim Hardaway Sr. went into some financial difficulties involving his house, and the Heat helped him out with his home.
Yeah, this is public knowledge.
At the time. And so it's an unusual relationship, I would say, that the Miami Heat cultivates, and it's a rare thing to have the same people in charge for 30 years. It's not normal in sports. The whole thing is transient, okay? But when the Miami Heat talk about the loyalty and the lifers that they have, Tim Hardaway Sr. is someone they regard that way so much that when he hits financial trouble after he played for them, this is not something that happened when he played for them. After he played for them, they helped bail him out with his home.
Tim Hardaway Jr. was at Michigan, so this isn't a tampering thing. Thank God.
We had already graduated because we played against each other in 2010. He was already in Michigan in 2011.
Business Insider headline from 2011, Miami Heat buys $2 million mansion to rescue Tim Hardaway from tax debt.
So Tim Hardaway Jr. now comes to Miami. He was very good in Denver last year, a serviceable player, is very good at shooting threes.
Yeah, good bench player.
Reshaped his career because when he was with Dallas, it was looking like he was done.
And so you have Wiggins and you have Portis. Again, old team. But you do have shooters around what is going to be the core defensively. And we always ignore this side of the ball. But the reason that Bam has not been tradable is because they love his defense. Because they fell apart late last season. But since Bam's been there, they're always great at defense. It does not matter who the players are. You add Giannis to that. Obviously, you're doing things with length that are going to be enticing to LeBron James. So let me present it to you another way. Why wouldn't you do Miami if you're LeBron James? Is it because you think Golden State is that enticing? Because playing with Steph is absolutely enticing. I would love to watch that, and they would love to do it. They would have a great deal of fun playing basketball together. That is an enticement that I believe the Miami Heat cannot provide him. But what they can provide him is that basketball will be easier for him here than there because they're going to play defense, and he's not going to have to be the one playing it.
A lot easier. I'll go back to what I said earlier. He understands what a championship caliber team looks like. And I'm sorry, you cannot make the case that Golden State team, especially without Jimmy available until March, is a championship caliber team when they have to play in that conference.
So here is Windhorst. He is being quoted here. You can hear him on Get Up. I encourage you not to do that because you need to stay here. Who acted with knowledge? Did the Cavs act with knowledge? Did the Heat act with knowledge? Did the Lakers act with knowledge? No. The Warriors acted with knowledge. Draymond opted out. That's all I'm going to say. That's not all he's going to say. LeBron has made it clear money is not driving this decision. That means he can choose a team that can win a championship immediately. You need to look at teams he'd feel comfortable playing with. It's only a couple he'd consider. The Miami Heat just traded for Giannis. He has a history there. They have Bam Adebayo. If he walked in, they'd form a new big three.
Heat Knicks is so back.
I can't believe that in 2026, we're actually having the conversation that the Knicks don't want any involvement in LeBron. If you ask the Knicks right now, do you want LeBron James? The answer would be no.
How about 16 years later, we're doing the summer of LeBron again?
Yeah, it's amazing, right? They got him in his prime at 25, and now he's 41, and they're interested again. That's an amazing compliment to LeBron. But let me ask Dan a question that I think he's equipped to answer. When LeBron left the Heat earlier than some hoped he would and thought he would, it wasn't a great departure. There were some issues with his relationship with Pat Riley and all that stuff. Has that mended to the degree that you're comfortable saying no problem?
Yeah.
Okay.
And when I say it's been mended that way, I've never seen Pat Riley crazier than after LeBron left, and it was for months. It was among the most brutal blows in his career because it was the ego swipe of watching the player take the power in a way that made Riley have to go re-recruit LeBron when Riley's general feeling was, well, didn't we win 2 championships? I've got to go re-recruit you. And the story I've told before of Pat Riley in a room having to wait to meet with LeBron's what Phil Jackson would call LeBron's posse, because this was a power game between the Phil Jacksons and Pat Riley's getting to control the sport, and LeBron and his agent controlling the sport. In the room where he was recruiting them, he had to ask them to turn off the television.
Wasn't it also the World Cup?
It was the World Cup, yeah. He had to ask them to turn off the television because they were distracted while he was doing the recruiting. And like all of that ended up being publicly humiliating, because we have the pictures of Pat Riley and Andy Ellisberg at a sad Las Vegas blackjack table waiting to meet with LeBron as everyone's wondering what he's going to do, and Wade is flying all around him. It is amazing that we're doing this with the oldest player in the league all these years later, but also amazing, like it to me, it is crazy that LeBron still can dominate a free agent conversation at this age.
Oh, he loves it.
No, I know he loves it, but he's gotten very good at it. And the fact that he can do it in the middle of the World Cup and still be of interest, and it feels like Golden State. It seemed to me when the news broke, LeBron tells Lakers he'll be playing elsewhere next season. It seemed to me that just before that, everyone assumed, well, it's going to be Golden State. The reports are Anthony Davis and LeBron. It's a betting favorite everywhere that LeBron is going to go to Golden State. But once you announce we'll play elsewhere, and once you announce I'm leaving my free agent options open, that's not just to get the attention. It's to leave the free agent options open. Like I know in the past people think that he and Aaron Rodgers do some of this stuff for attention, and it's fair criticism. I get it. But it's not just for that this time. Like, he understands his place in the world, because the last time with the World Cup, you remember, he flew from Vegas to Brazil. He still hadn't made a decision. He was, like, flying to World Cup games. People were following him around from gym to gym, wherever it is that he was. He really changed the way we do all of this. The fact that we talk this much about transactions during basketball is something that he birthed with all of that 16 years ago. It's just nuts that this is still in play, and he fits here. That's the other thing. Like, however it is that you want to concoct these scenarios that have Jaylen Brown and James Harden and Donovan Mitchell, he fits in Golden State, where they're not going to play any defense. Draymond Green is a reigning defensive player of the year many times over, and old. And he's all they've got defensively. You cannot have a bunch of late 30-year-old guys trying to guard everybody. And say what you will about the Heat being old, Bam and Giannis are built to run right now. Right? This is their 29, 30, 31-year-old. You don't want to be doing this like with Kawhi at 35 in Toronto. You want to be doing it right here in this window, and it's not for 18 months from now. Like, it's not. You guys keep talking the last couple of days about year two. This is the weakest of the Giannis teams. I don't think it's going to be. Like, I think they're going to get a real-ass team around him with the promise of, Giannis, you want to rebuild your career and your legacy? Wilbon's already forgotten about you. He ain't waiting a year either. Like, he already waited a year. He wasted last year. Last year's totally wasted. This is about right now. It's about July 6th. The Heat expect to be saying something more than it's just Giannis and Hardaway and Portis.
I think if he were going to Golden State, okay, why'd Golden State make that move? I think if he was Draymond, I think if he was going to Golden State, if it was a sure thing, it would have happened right away. Remember, when he left Cleveland to go to the Lakers, there was no free agency. Like, we all knew throughout the year he's going to leave Cleveland and go to the Lakers, and then one day, we just got the report, like on the bottom of the crawl on ESPN, LeBron announces he is signing with the Los Angeles Lakers. That was a done thing. He didn't do this whole free agency song and dance. Now, do I believe that he loves the attention, and at his age right now, he kind of wants to show everybody, hey, I still run this league. Look at everybody looking at me. I do think there is something to that. But if it was a sure thing he was going to Golden State, I think it would be done already.
The NBA always wins the offseason, and the two biggest stories of this offseason were Giannis and LeBron. What is their future? And now the Miami Heat might win both of the two biggest stories. Pat Riley's put up for 10 years hearing the games pass him by. He's too old. he can't sign the whale anymore. He can't win the big guy. And now he's won Giannis. If he gets LeBron too, Pat Riley should throw up a big middle finger to everybody who's criticizing the past 10 years.
Yeah, totally. If he gets that done. Do you think LeBron still has the checkered pattern shirt? Because that'd be pretty dope. Does Jim Gray have one more in him?
Ooh, it should be witty.
We should figure out how to do some things with that shirt. We should lure him here by seeing if we could get shirts here that just have the show begging all over again for LeBron to come here. I believe the summer of 2010 is something that ended up building our studios at the Clevelander. Like the economy that he brought to Miami was substantive.
If I can tell you, funny enough, 16 years ago, that week of NBA free agency, I was filling in for Stugotz. That entire week, I was doing the show next to you, and you did the whole, you and Stephen A. Smith put your names out there and said, this is happening. And I was next to you that whole week, and I remember how intense, and I was really young. Greg, I was very young.
Right.
And I remember how intense those shows were, because it was like, holy shit, you, Stephen A., you're putting your names out there for something that is really, really massive, and how exciting it was that this was potentially going to happen.
That's as scared as I've ever been giving a report, and it's as scared as Stephen A. Smith has ever been giving a report, and he also said afterward, I will never do that again. He was so scared because the information was locked down. This organization is really private, and there was just so much misinformation. So many people were getting it wrong, and no one thought at any point, really, no one thought, because I remember doing this show with Wilbon and Kornheiser and Bill Simmons, and we did like a free agency special, and the idea that I was putting Bosh, Wade, and LeBron together, they laughed out of the room. Like they said it was a stupidity, and everyone thought that because they didn't think that any three stars like that would team up.
I don't think in 2010 we fully appreciated what we were getting in LeBron. He was just really coming into his prime at 25, and what he would become was greater than what we thought we were getting in 2010, I think. But the idea that 16 years later, at 41, he still commands this kind of interest, it's just, it's a statement. We see what age does to other athletes. We just saw what it did to Serena Williams at Wimbledon. And for LeBron at 41 to still be at this level, it's just amazing.
Shams Charania has tweeted free agent Norman Powell has agreed to a 2-year, $45 million deal with the Chicago Bulls.
Well, no, now you don't talk? Tell me what this means. Now you shut up. I mean, you got me all hot and ready for LeBron again. What does it mean, Jeremy?
I mean, it means they moved on from Norman Powell. They couldn't get a sign and trade done, but also probably at this point didn't want to make a sign and trade. Right.
It's not in their plan.
It's not
what's
part
their
of this
plan? Is it LeBron?
Are you paying attention?
Yeah.
5 minutes?
No. Does this help or does it hurt?
What's the matter with you?
Does it help or does it hurt? Can you tell me, are we closer?
It helps.
All right, sweet.
Norman Powell's options were limited. The Bulls are a bit broken, and going there allows him to sort of have his own team. He got a little bit used to that here for half a season. He enjoyed it. They were playing unique offensive basketball around him. And before we get too far down the path of who is the next guy through the door, I don't want to dishonor some of the people who are leaving. I thought we did that with Tyler Hero as a show. We'll probably do that with Norman Powell as a show. I mean, he was an all-star while he was here, but I don't want to do that to Sergei Bobrovsky because it's one of the most interesting careers we've ever had in South Florida. I remember this show being very loud about not wanting him around for many years, and then he became a two-time champion goaltender and someone you trusted in the playoffs to be great. Back when hot goaltender is how we were doing much of the math in the playoffs with undermanned teams. Sergei Bobrovsky ends up being one of the great free agent signings in the history of this market, even though for half of it, all of you were calling him a bum.
I kicked him out of this city several times in the first few years of his 7-year, $70 million deal. And now I will tell you, he is the greatest free agent signing in the history of the Florida Panthers. It's an unbelievable run, or turnaround, if you will, that he had. I'm sad that it is officially over now, but that guy is my dog. I'm not upset with him at all. I love you, Sergei Bobrovsky, and I look forward to his number going up in the rafters.
Me too. He's a legend. I think you're right. Most impactful free agent signing ever. But when Dan says you guys wanted him out of here, not just us. Remember how this run started with their first Eastern Conference championship of this core as an 8 seed? It started because Alex Lyon got them to the playoffs. He was benched. He was the worst free agent signing arguably ever. And then what a turnaround for his story.
It's crazy.
Becomes a two-time champion, has one of the most iconic saves in the history of the sport.
It's awesome.
With the bobbery, and forever a champion, forever a legend, a Hall of Famer, and definitely going to have that 72 retired.
Yeah, I think he has left as one of the most popular players in franchise history. A monumentally awful quote in the postgame when you went to him after the best game possible. You got the same stuff.
Yeah, bad interview.
Just awful.
Roy did one of those with him.
Oh my God.
Greg, most important number 72 in the history of South Florida sports: Richmond Webb, the perfect team, or Sergei Bobrovsky?
I'm old school. You got to go the perfect team, but I think Bob and Webb would be right up. When you think of the back-to-back Stanley Cups, what player do you go to first? Probably Barkov and Bob, right? I mean, those two.
I love that you answered that question seriously, Greg.
Yeah, I did.
Richmond Webb,
72?
Sergei Bobrovsky, or the only perfect team in the history of professional
Also,
sports.
Richmond Webb was number 78.
Oh, well, he's trying to trick me over here, this guy. It seemed like 72. When you said it sounded
I think
right.
Vernon Carey was 72.
That's who I meant.
Okay, no, we don't. Vernon, I love you, but you're no Bob.
Wow, 2 I love yous in this segment. Zaz just said I loved you to Bobrovsky, and Greg shouted out and I love you as well. Let's empty the Bobrovsky file here solemnly and respectfully here. What do we have from our file on Sergei Bobrovsky?
Bobby. 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 Thank you.
Okay, and excellent work at the parade. What else do you have there from the Bobrovsky file?
The guitar riff.
That was Roy going to Canada and coming back with only a guitar riff. There was only and a Bobrovsky interview that was not any good.
He said so little that we just don't want to play what he said. It was the star of the show was the riff.
Yes, they needed to dress it up a little bit because Roy came back with a Bobrovsky interview again that was not any good, and so they put a guitar riff on it, and it made it much better. Anything else in the Bobrovsky file?
Sergei Bobrovsky.
This segment is presented by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Let me open up my DraftKings Sports app. Check my trades, my activity right now. The most recent trade I made, Miami Heat to win the NBA championship. But I scroll down and I see some anytime goal scorer picks. And if you subscribe to me on Instagram, you know it was a very good day yesterday. Thank you very much, France. Games like that don't come often. We crushed it.
They're going to run over everybody, Mike.
They have a pretty easy
they're so
path.
good.
And I say games like that don't come very often in terms of like a player prop situation. It's coming again against Paraguay. But I have some anytime goal scorer picks for today. Earlier match, Jude Bellingham. That Congo midfield, they get stretched often. They have the athleticism to make up some of that ground. But Jude Bellingham, for my money, outside of, we got to see if he can match what Mbappe did yesterday. It was just dynamite. But Jude Bellingham has been one of the more complete, better players of this tournament so far. Entering yesterday, he would have been my pick for the Golden Ball. Now that is heavily dependent on England making a deep run. But I'm going Jude Bellingham to score anytime. I'm also going with Harry Kane anytime to score. And in the U.S. men's national team match tonight against Bosnia and Herzegovina, Flo Balogun anytime. Those are my picks. DraftKings Sports is available in all 50 states.
There is too much to talk about, okay? Because we could assemble the argument, could we not, that this is the biggest soccer game in United States history. And we also have Serena Williams playing yesterday. We have Mexico going crazy. And if we get Mexico, England, good God, are you kidding me? In Mexico? Like, that is going to be an insanity if you saw what was happening in Mexico yesterday.
I was going to say, Dan, did you watch the celebrations? We have it on the screen right now. If you're not watching, go watch it on YouTube. It is insane. It looks
Holy
like
Jesus.
it looks like they won the World Cup.
Mexico hadn't gotten this far in 4 decades. They love their soccer, and I want to get to that, and we will get to that. We can't even get to the poor Marlins, who are having the best month in all of baseball. Here's Jeff Passan saying the best team in baseball in June by a decent margin is the Miami Marlins. They're about to go 20-6, and they've outscored opponents by 49 runs with the lowest payroll in baseball. Their third highest paid player is Giancarlo Stanton, who last played for them in 2017. And also Sarah Langs, she's a baseball reporter, great baseball reporter. She says of the Marlins in June, it's not just that the 20-6 is the best record in baseball. The ERA is also the best in baseball in the month, 3.01. And the 53-run differential is tied for the best in baseball. And again, it's against good teams.
Is it real?
Like, yes, I think it's real. Like that, the pitching is real and their young players are good. And I think this team is, it's going to compete for a wild card. They're not Philadelphia. Philadelphia clubbed them. Philadelphia is unbelievably hot since hiring Don Mattingly. And Atlanta is better than they are as well. But this is the most enticing, exciting Marlins team I would put up there. Bigger than the 83-win Marlins that got Joe Girardi a Manager of the Year, bigger than the playoff Marlins during the pandemic that got there. I think this is the best baseball team they have fielded in quite a while. Like, they're playing too well over a sustained period with these players where this month is not a mirage. When I tell you they're 20-6, they're also beating good teams. Like, Washington, they're going and sweeping. You may not think much of Washington. Washington's been they score more runs than anyone in baseball, and they win more than they lose. And like I'm surprised that the Marlins, with the lowest payroll in baseball, have a legitimately good baseball team.
When they swept Washington had a better record than them going into that series. And where you got to give the Marlins credit is that they've found ways to maneuver within their roster. Like, they've done this entire month essentially with 2 starting pitchers. Yuri Perez was hurt for a chunk of it. Junk, Snelling, those guys weren't pitching. So they've been using Ryan Gusto. Yeah. They've been using openers. They've been using Tyler Phillips, the guy who slaps himself in the face. He was really effective in his last start. And some of the decisions they've made throughout the year. Heriberto Hernandez was really struggling to start the year. They sent him down, gave him 2 weeks to get right, comes back up. He's had over an 800 OPS since he came back. Owen Casey, they stuck with him. He's the guy they traded Edward Cabrera for. He was dreadful after the opening weekend. One of the worst hitters in baseball. And since then, he's been really solid as a platoon guy. He's got 10 home runs. And calling up Joe Mack when they did, sending Agustin Ramirez down to AAA, has been a godsend.
That's been crazy.
He's one of the best catchers in baseball.
Well, they can't be run on, and I don't think he's this offensively. But if he is this offensively, you better lock him up for 10 years because nobody can run. He's begging people. Him and the backup catcher are begging people to run. Pero Mexico, 2-0, and the World Cup. Because the scene in Mexico was totally crazy, just getting started.
Oh, that's in Guadalajara. That's the square in Guadalajara.
Oh, we've been there.
Yeah, that's incredible. The Mexico City one's awe-inspiring. Dan, they were so impressive. I was worried about the opponent that they drew because what Mexico has as a home advantage is the altitude and their style of play. Ecuador plays that very same style, and you're not going to altitude Ecuador famously, and they were so much better than Ecuador, so much better.
But Mike, the whole, I don't think people who are uninitiated, when you talk about whatever home field advantage would be, I don't believe there's a crazier environment, and I'm taking all of Europe, and I'm taking that this sport can be crazy anywhere, than fans who throw cups of their urine at you on the corner kicks because they are breathing on you. They are on top of you. It feels like the country is on top of you.
So there's this show, The S Word, that Master Tesfazian co-hosts, and it's on this World Cup, and the dynamic is, smug English people making Americans apologize for their very own existence. And we've been warning Americans have been warning the English, like, there might be a date where you have to go to Azteca and win a match in an environment that you don't know anything about, in an altitude that you have never experienced in your life. You have, for decades, convinced yourself that a rainy night at the Bet365 in Stoke is what a true hostile atmosphere is. No, my friend, you don't know what it's like to go to Azteca, dying to get a point. You have no idea how hard it is. When Harry Kane gets hit in the face with a used condom full of urine, you will know. I need that.
You don't know it's a used condom. You don't know it's a used condom.
Well, it was certainly used to pee in.
Yeah, they used it to pee in it.
Well, but that does not qualify as a used condom. It's not a fresh condom, but a used condom.
Yeah,
no,
I'm just saying they
you got to
that will
use the
be-
condom for what the condom is used for. You can't fill it with urine. That's
no, you
not
can fill it with
using a
holy water.
condom.
Have you not seen From Dusk Till Dawn?
Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Is it a used condom if you've only filled it with urine?
That's a poll I never thought we'd put up.
I love Master. The S Word, the show, the concept is what exactly? Smug? Smug British people making Americans apologize?
For their very own existence.
Wow,
Like, that's not the pitch.
1776 would like a word.
That's
July 4th would like a word, Brits. Sorry.
Well, that's not the official bio, but that's what I've deduced
Keep
it is.
that one.
Yeah.
You don't sound sorry.
Hang with them.
Colonial. We have the possibility of colonialism trying to take a corner kick in that stadium, a stadium filled with people that we have built a wall to keep out because they're rapists.
Oh, we haven't built a wall.
And
We haven't built a
convicts.
wall.
Let's keep us out of this one. That's
What are you
between
trying
those
to
two
do?
countries. When that goes down, I am telling you, there are scenes. There's Cameron Indoor. There's the big house. There's what we've seen this World
No,
Cup.
there's nothing like
There
this.
is going to be absolutely nothing like England against Mexico in Mexico if we get that. It is going to be the single biggest scene in the history of sport. We all need to be rooting for it.
Is that where England goes if they win today?
Yes. Where
have you not been listening to the show?
No.
Maybe
No,
it'll be
you
two
can't do
rounds
that.
from now.
Have you not
you
been
can't do
listening?
that.
No. Maybe
you
it'll be in
can't.
2
No,
rounds
no,
from
Have not been
now.
listening to the show?
See you, buddy.
That's a terrible call.
not listening to the show.
Yeah.
Have you been listening?
Zaz really blew that one, didn't he? Wow.
I'm going to tell you something, Dan. I'm
can't-
using my challenge.
What are you still
tell
yeah,
me something.
Wait a
No,
second.
he has a challenge.
We have 2 challenges
We don't
as a
have
team.
one.
I'm using
No,
my
we don't
challenge.
have
Every team
two
has 2
challenges as a
challenges.
team.
Yep.
No,
We'll
you
go
don't
check
have-
in with the ref.
You don't have 2
Yeah,
challenges
VAR.
as a team.
VAR.
I'm using my challenge.
ZAS.
Here we go. I'm using my challenge. It could have been in 2 rounds from now. I don't know what the bracket looks like. I haven't filled out a bracket.
We
This isn't
already
March
said,
Madness.
though, we said a number of
Disagree.
times.
Be bracket aware.
Disagree.
You were not bracket aware.
So not bracket aware.
Listen to me. Just to be abundantly clear. If England wins, they go to Mexico City and they play Mexico.
Who? What's that voice?
That's your very stupid voice.
That's me?
Yeah, it's just a stupid voice.
I would work on that.
You don't have to be bracket aware. You just have to be listening to our show where we said Dr. Congo. You were listening when you made your Dr. Congo joke. You were there. You were in the middle of the conversation.
If someone's a doctor, you better call me doctor.
No, but it was in the conversation where you weren't listening because you were going to make the joke where Mike is saying you need to root for Dr. Congo to lose today so that then the next round we get England and Mexico and you're like, oh yeah, Dr. Congo. Like, so in that conversation right there where you had the joke is where you were informed. Challenge is rejected.
Minor penalty, 2 minutes for not listening to the show.
Afuera! We didn't even go to VAR.
Glad you said I don't have to be bracket aware. That's exactly my point.
Got to go to bracketaware.com/gregcodyshow.com.org.
Thank you very much. By the way, it's going to be a crazy atmosphere for England playing in Mexico. England's going to win by 2 goals anyway. But I want to say this about the Mexican fans. They're not just in Mexico.
Catch your breath.
When the U.S. team has played in L.A., it's been like a road game for the U.S. national team in L.A.
No, it hasn't.
Yes, it has.
No, it hasn't. Their crowd against Paraguay was incredible in Los Angeles.
I'm talking about when the U.S. plays
all right.
Mexico
Historically against
in LA.
Mexico.
Yeah.
Historically, but I will say this is where capitalism has really calcified us. With a secondary market being what it is, with the ticket situation being what it is, American sports fans have built up such a callous and unfortunately have such experience in getting hard-to-get tickets that we've kind of prepared our whole lives for this moment.
I am promising the people who may not be familiar with this, okay? We did a documentary at Meadowlark about the uneasy rivalry between Mexico and the U.S. It's the first documentary we did. We have another one out on Netflix now, Chris and Martina. I urge you to check it out. A lot of people of a certain age are remembering that was sort of ground zero in America for women's sports. And so a topical and timely documentary is out on Netflix now on Chris and Martina if you're watching, Serena Williams at 44 at Wimbledon so that you could see what the roots of that sport looked like. Back when that sport was challenging things we're still fighting about today in press boxes and in San Francisco with gay pride when Martina was polarizing because she was trying to make it in that sport as someone who was gay and was a pioneer in that regard in a number of different ways. But the Mexico-United States rivalry, in that documentary, you will see how insane Mexico is about its soccer, and you can make the argument that several generations of Mexicans haven't felt the way they do today. Multiple generations of Mexicans who really love that sport do not know what it's like to get this close and have England coming to your place when that place is a zoo. Mike, you got to give me some context for this. Where else can I go in the world? Because Europe has no shortage of insane places, and hooliganism is not something that's that far in the past. There are plenty of insane, dangerous places to play soccer in the world. Where do you put Mexico when you're saying this is going to be you're saying this is the biggest, this has the potential to be the biggest scene in the history of sports at a stadium?
Terms of hostile atmospheres. I mean, FIFA has tried, CONCACAF has tried, every governing body has tried and failed to stop the homophobic chant that they do. In terms of, this is violent. This is hard to get to the stadium. Yeah, you have like some club soccer teams that, man, you don't want to mess with their supporters. But on the international stage, nothing like Mexico. And people in Europe kind of look down on us because we're not a proper soccer nation. But I can look at them. I know what I'm talking about when it comes to soccer. I've seen all these international matches. I know all the hostile atmospheres. I will stack Azteca Stadium in a meaningful match as the most hostile atmosphere up against anything in the world in sports. It is impossible. This is decades running, trying to go to that stadium and come away with a point. It doesn't happen, folks. And yes, that's the United States, right? But England doesn't know anything about that. They famously fold. Dude, Saka crapped his pants in Wembley Stadium. What is he going to do when he goes to Azteca?
What do you guys think of this here? When you think of in all of sports in America, okay, when you think of famously hostile environments, I'm giving you all of sports. I think college football does this a little better than most, and I think LSU is viewed, because Cajuns are drinking all day, as one kind of thing. Okay, this is Mexicans drinking all month. Like, this is loaded up on tequila, waiting for this day for decades. Like, whatever you think LSU football is, and I don't know what you put at the top of the class of hardest places to play because of just insanity around you, and up to and including getting to the stadium. Like, problems for your bus, you're going to need police help. It's all scary. If you think the Germans were indeed scared to take penalty kicks because the world is on their shoulders, here it feels like it's hot tequila breath on your neck and they're throwing urine.
And the story going into it, the story around this English team, Dan, is they have a ton of talent. They're one of the more talented sides in the world. But they're missing the guts. They're missing the heart. They're missing the mental fortitude. So if they actually go into Azteca and they come out with a result, guys, England is winning this World Cup.
Not against France. Nobody's beating France.
No. What this English team is missing is the moxie to go into a tough situation. I'm not even talking about like an environment. I'm talking about, man, this is stress. We got the weight of our own crest on our hearts. This is hard. Are we mentally strong enough to overcome that? That has been the deal with England. This is as talented a generation as they've had. They've been really good for a while, and they've fallen short. Even when they hosted a final against Italy, they fell short because of the weight of expectations and the pressure of that moment. Now you got to take that to a host nation, and that host nation is Mexico, playing the style they do in front of their own fans. Man, the storylines, endless.
You're rooting against Dr. Congo.
Yes. I need England, Mexico, in Mexico City. That is going to be the craziest scene in the history of sports.
England's a better team.
Doesn't matter.
You're talking about everything that surrounds the pitch.
Doesn't matter.
Talking about it doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter who the better team is, especially against a host nation. Italy was better than South Korea in 2002. Spain was better than South Korea in 2002. Spain was much better than Russia.
This is so great, though. These people waiting this long for this is just really, really fun. Before we go any further, though, and I've been remiss in not handling this earlier, Greg, please help me. We have a crime scene in the eating area. Uh-oh. And I saw it when I walked out there, and we've got a bunch of Wolverines around here, people who have not been trained how to eat properly, how to use the bathroom properly. It is pretty unpleasant in terms of just generally what the men here do with the hygiene. But this crime scene, if you're not watching on YouTube or on the DraftKings network or on any number of the assortment of video platforms where you can find us, Samsung TV Plus, the Roku channel, Vizio, when you look out at our eating area, you will see the crime scene with the question, who did this? Because there appears to be a quarter of a donut that was simply thrown on the floor, and I'm not sure it was with the napkin under it. I don't know what was done here. I don't know who found this. Wow. But Greg, if you had to guess, like if we were doing betting favorites on DraftKings, now available in all 50 states.
DraftKings Sports.
If you were taking favorites on who is most likely to have just, like, that's not near a garbage can.
Right.
Look at how far from anything that would be a garbage can that is. It's at least 10 feet on a wooden floor.
So I do have some info on this. Earlier I was getting some water and they said somebody did this. What they did is they took a knife and then they cut a piece of the donut until it got to that little morsel that you see there and didn't eat the little morsel. So they ate everything else around it, but not that. So somebody put it there and was like, all right, who did this?
I apologize.
What?
I dropped the donut. What? I had to get in the studio. I was in a hurry. Do I pick it up? Do I keep Dan Way? He's going to yell at me. You're a minute late. I apologize. What can I tell you?
That you're doing all of that for effect. I don't believe anything that you're saying. And what I'm going to ask the crew to do right now, video, do me the favor, please. You could check surveillance and you could find out who was having that donut for breakfast. And we're going to get to the bottom of this because this stuff can't keep happening around here where you guys are jackals and wolverines. You guys saw we have a new HR person. We have somebody around here who's making sure that this is an environment that isn't run by apes and hyenas and honey badgers. And we can't have pieces of a donut on the floor just thrown on the floor because nobody knows how to use a garbage can.
Well, you know how it is, Dan, right? Like, you don't want the whole donut, so you get a knife, you cut half the donut. You're like, I'll eat half the donut.
Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Are you an animal if you're using a knife and fork on a donut? And are you an animal?
So you're sophisticated.
Are you a creature that cannot be trusted if you are using a knife and fork on a donut? And also put this on the poll at Le Batard Show. Worst thing to use a knife and fork on, a donut or a slice of pizza?
A donut is such a commitment, though, especially the communal donut thing. You kind of want to be considerate of others and here, hey, sample this flavor. I think using a fork and knife in a communal setting when someone brings donuts to an office is a play on for me. Yeah. But if you tore that with your hands, you're a savage.
Yeah. I eat my pizza with fork and knife all the time. All the time. 2 reasons. Number one, my pizza slice of preference is Sicilian, all right? And there's nothing wrong with having a slice of Sicilian with fork and knife. Number two, if the slice of pizza is really hot, I don't want the cheese dripping everywhere or have the cheese burn the roof of my mouth. You know about that burnt roof of the mouth, Dan? So I will use a fork and knife plenty with my pizza.
It also depends on the size of the pizza. If you get one of those giant slices, no, you got to use that.
I'll make an exception for Sicilian, no others.
Oh, man.
No others.
Hot pizza needs to be in there, too.
Sicilian's the thinnest of them all.
Sicilian's thick as hell. You have no idea what you're talking about.
No, I thought Sicilian was the Italian
like
style.
Nuts,
no,
man.
That's Chicago deep dish.
That's Roman
deep dish.
style.
That right there, that's Detroit style.
I've always called that Sicilian as well, though. What? Since childhood, I have always called that style of pizza there that is thick and crusty.
Thick.
I've referred to that as Sicilian. So let's put it on the poll, see if Mike has this right at Le Batard Show. Sicilian pizza, thick or thin? Your thoughts here, Greg? Because I have called Detroit a deep dish, Chicago, all of those I call Sicilian. I call that Sicilian pizza.
I don't know if that's Sicilian or not. I do know this: pizza's a hand food. If you're seen eating pizza with a knife and a fork, you should be kicked out of the
So he asked you a question and you just answered something else.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
I apologize. It's very similar to Detroit. I always call that Detroit. The play on, I'm sorry.
Am I right?
The Sicilian is the blocky thing that you see.
Very
at,
thick.
You're wrong about deep dish, though. Deep dish is not Sicilian whatsoever.
No, that's Chicago deep dish.
Yeah, it's like very saucy.
It's too saucy, but it's the same kind of thickness. It's super bready. Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. If you're eating a slice of pizza with a knife and fork, should you indeed be kicked out of the establishment?
Also, Detroit pizza has the sauce on top of the pizza.
Yeah, I like it.
Understood. I am allowing an exception for the kind of pizza that Zaz is talking about, which is a thicker kind of, and it's super buttery too. So it's like, it's super sloppy.
It's a doughier pie, Dan.
But the part that I'm objecting to is a knife and fork on just a regular New York slice that has to be eaten with the hand. You can't be Philip Seymour Hoffman taking all of the oil and along came Paulie and putting it on your plate. You got to just eat the thing. You got to eat the thing the way that it comes out. You got to honor New York and honor Italians and honor food.
You don't know this about Zaz, though? Famously, ribs, not a thing. He doesn't like his hands getting messy.
I know.
Wings.
He is a food weirdo. We are uncovering these things at all times. I wanted to ask you guys about something, though, happening right now in the media as you've got factions that has been really funny to observe, and I include us among this, and I hadn't noticed it until the Damian Lillard Portland stuff. The Boston media, and in our case, the Miami media, such different perspectives on an assortment of different things that other people would look at and not even understand the extremes in perspective. So right now, what you have happening with Kevin O'Connor, Used to be of The Ringer, worked with Bill Simmons for a long time, is now at Yahoo. He is somebody who is getting more and more name because he is saying more and more things. And I came in here today, and everyone in here was clucking about Kevin O'Connor because they've all got an assortment of scars and all of these brawls with the Boston media that go back to racist WEEI taking out my dad with an assortment of stupidities and then defending themselves. And we've been fighting with Boston ever since in some shape or form around here. But what's the issue with Kevin O'Connor? Because what's happening now that you guys are so mad and you're making Kevin O'Connor the face for the media when he's not the face for the media. He works for Yahoo, used to work at The Ringer, and he's getting better at saying things.
Yeah, so I just find it ironic here because Kevin O'Connor, who, like you mentioned, is one of the media, one of the NBA guys out there. He's out there, and he I guess he has a show on YouTube. He has his own show, and he thinks there's this big conspiracy. See, this is funny, right? He thinks there's this big conspiracy against Jaylen Brown and the Boston Celtics. Give this a listen.
All I know is that the whole Jaylen Brown situation with basically every media member pooing on Jaylen Brown out there right now, every executive I talk to pooing on Jaylen Brown right now, it feels very coordinated to me.
Yeah.
It all does. To try to drive down the price on a guy who just had an unbelievable regular season, 6th in MVP voting, dragged the roster without Jason Tatum to 56 wins, the 2 seed in the East, is a former finals MVP, has gotten better every season of his career, even after winning that finals MVP. I don't really buy that these teams don't want Jaylen Brown. I don't buy that the Clippers don't want Jaylen Brown. I don't buy that the Blazers don't want Jaylen Brown. I think it's crazy talk to me. I think it's just negotiating through the media is all this is.
Well,
personally.
Isn't that interesting, Dan? Isn't that interesting when for years you got people like this Kevin O'Connor, Boston folk. That's right. That's how I refer to Boston media. Boston folk.
Folk Boston.
And you got Boston folk who is every time trying to put the player on a different team. I got a little bit hung up in the air on what I wanted to say there.
You really did get lost.
Yeah.
You're passionate, but you're not quite as confident as I thought you were at the start of this ramble.
Mike, I'm tagging you in.
Good choice.
All
Good
right,
choice.
cool. I was going to say, we could edit it out for the social clip. Let me tell you something, Kevin O'Connor. You are absolutely right. It is indeed a coordinated effort, at least on our part, to make a mess of things, dilute your offer, make your house a mess. Yes, it is. And you know where we learned it from? We learned it from you. You gave us a template. You absolutely made the Damian Lillard thing impossible for Miami. Jeremy, what did Kevin O'Connor say about Miami's offer?
Tagging you in, Jeremy.
Of an offer of Tyler Hero, Kyle Lowry, Jaime Jaquez, Nikola Jovic, 2 firsts and a pick swap. So damn near the package that just got Giannis Antetokounmpo. He said, quote, "This return for Portland would go down as one of the worst trades in NBA history." Kevin O'Connor, we followed your model. When Jason Tatum came back, we said, could that cause a problem for Jaylen Brown? We said, hey, this guy tweets like a wide receiver. We said, you know what? Maybe Jaylen Brown should demand a trade. We followed your path.
Mike's
Kevin
tagging you
O'Connor.
back in.
You put down an offer that ended up netting Giannis, and you put over Time Lord, who we said had one working knee, if that. What you did in making sure Damian Lillard didn't go to Miami was pitch perfect. It was all of Boston media, coordinated, organized. We were in a whole new war. Drones were impacting us. Our $1 million weapons couldn't stand a chance against your $13,000 drones. We didn't know what we were doing. It took us years to recover. But now, we're a well-oiled machine. Tagging you in, Zaz.
Tagging me back in. I got the hot tag now, Dan. And it all ends, Kevin O'Connor. Your nightmare. It all ends with Giannis, maybe LeBron. But it all ends with Giannis on the Heat and the Celtics. They're floundering. They don't know what to do because nobody wants Jaylen Brown. Nobody Nobody wants Jaylen Brown. Boston folk.
Boston.
You didn't tag. You got to tag it.
I was never tagged by anybody.
match is over.
I thought
It's
it
an
was a
untagged
bad
comment.
decision to
Dan,
tag
you're it.
in Jeremy. I thought it was a
Untagged
bad
comment.
decision.
No, like that is what they
the hell,
did
man?
throughout the entire Lillard pursuit. They trashed Miami's offer so well. They had convinced everybody these are bad players. Bad players. Robert Williams, incredible player. Bad players on Miami, one of the worst trade offers ever. And it was because the Miami Heat made an NBA Finals, made two, with a player not as good as Damian Lillard, and they all knew what would have happened to the Eastern Conference had Damian Lillard gone to the Miami Heat and stayed healthy. Ended up being a bad trade. But it was incredible how well they coordinated that effort. Tagging you in, Greg.
Yep, Greg, you're tagged in.
Yeah. One last thing about Kevin O'Connor. Or is it O'Connell?
O'Connor.
He had two
think the other guy was in Entourage.
He had two guitars on the wall in the background. Doesn't even play the instrument. He's a fraud.
You don't know that.
I know that.
How
I've
do you know
researched
that?
it.
You don't know
He's
that.
a fraud.
You didn't know whether he was O'Connor or O'Connell.
Kevin O'Fraud.
Okay, O'Fraudle. Very good.
That's right.
So you were tagging people in. There was a lot of tagging in. You lost some confidence. I thought you were going to soar into the sky going after Kevin O'Connor.
Won the match, Dan.
I understand. But since we're tagging people in, I thought it might be time to bring in the lefty to debut an all-new segment where we bring in the lefty from the pen because we need help to bail us out on a segment because all of you were talking to cameras and yelling and screaming and you think you won the match, and I think Kevin O'Connor won the match without speaking during what it is that you were doing.
So we need to bring somebody in to make the show more left.
Yes, that is correct. Let's bring in the lefty.
Call in the lefty.
I'll be back.
This not great for the audio audience.
Or video audience either. Video audience would also like sound too. Do we restart it?
Yeah, let's do this again because I regret. You know what? I regret. Never mind. Take it back. I regret tagging in. I regret tagging him in. I regret going to his segment. I regret all of what just happened there, which seemed to be pretty simple, but
It's not quite bringing in Ricky Vaughn.
no, it wasn't quite bringing in anything that helped us in any way, actually. So moving on to catchphrases. Greg Cody has now more, I am told. And I'm really disappointed with what's happening here because Greg Cody is not respecting in any way the 50 countdown that we started with.
Yeah, you're going to be mad.
Top 50 catchphrases. I heard while he was in vacation, on vacation, I heard that Greg Cody officially expanded. The Greg Cody Show featuring Greg Cody has now expanded to how many catchphrases?
70. But it's the final expansion.
We think.
We guarantee it will not
It's
get
not in your
above
hands,
70.
though, Greg. We don't know that.
I know. It's out of my hands as well, but I have been told.
As well.
I have been told that it's 70. Top. Hard ceiling.
So wait a minute. The last time that we talked to you about this, we were on like number 11, were we not?
Yeah.
So what are we on now?
Today I'm going to reveal numbers 20 and 19.
Oh my God. So we're back in the top, we're back at the start of the top 20 when we just got to 11 last week?
Yeah. Things happen.
We were good. We were just coming up on the top 10.
I know, and now we're cracking the top 20. We're in the teens.
We already did the
No, it hadn't been done yet.
So wait a minute. So just help me with the math of this. So are you saying that what had been in the top 20 are now the first 10 in the top 30?
Yeah, that's the way lists work, Dan. Let me give you a quick
This
example.
isn't the way
At
they
one
work.
point, Babe Ruth was number 1 on the home run list. He's not anymore. Lists change. They're like tectonic plates.
No. When you make a list,
Earth is shifting.
Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. When you start with a top 50 list, should it be 70?
Yes, for sure. Be with me, voters.
So what
Be
are we?
with me.
So am I asking you right now to start on number 70? We don't have time
don't
for
have to
that.
ask me. Well,
no, we
I'll-
got to come back with it. We don't have time for that right now.
I'll talk real quick. Number 70. And number 19. That kind of thing. No, I'm just kidding. That hasn't been listed yet.
You're disrespecting the whole thing.
It
Now
has
you're
not
just
been listed yet. That is not in the top 19.
You're not honoring the correct way to do these things.
I'm honoring it, baby.
No.
Honoring it.
Now we've run out of time, and it's 70 of these.
Yes.
And I don't know.
It was going to be the top 250 in honor of the U.S. holiday, but I'm going to keep it at 70. I'm a man of my people.
Do we go back to the lefty?
Chris Cody and Roy revealed this to me. And Roy, I don't know the context of what it is that you guys were talking about that revealed this about Chris Cody.
Yeah, Chris asked me what the sound from the first down for the Dolphins games were. And I said
it's just a noise I've made throughout my entire life. It's just like I just did it. Hoo-wah!
Yeah.
And to me, that's another Miami Dolphins first down.
Well, let's find out. Let's find out if your dad knows, because he's not a real moviegoer. Instead of impersonating the sound, do you have the actual sound? Greg Cody, do you know who's making this sound?
Hoo-ah! I do.
Clark Gable.
Come on.
It's the famous actor.
Rock Hudson.
Oh, this is great. He doesn't know it.
No, it's the famous actor. And I got to pin his name down because I don't think
you should be able to say this immediately.
I don't think it's Robert De Niro, but I think it's
in the neighborhood.
In the neighborhood. Give me a second. Robert De Niro.
Humphrey
Al Pacino.
Hey, there you go.
If someone said that in his headphones, you're fired.
Now,
No,
what movie?
nobody said
what
that.
Movie?
It's APAC. What movie?
Streetcar Named Desire.
You ain't you. No. You're not man enough to know the truth. Something like
No.
That's A Few Good Men, and that's A Few Good Men.
Good answer.
And it's not, you're not man enough to know the truth.
You can't handle the truth.
Don't know.
It's a different movie. Pacino was not in
You're
it.
not man enough to know the truth.
That was originally a line. Nicholson ad-libbed. They kept
Put it on the poll
that
at
was
Le
Nicholson.
Batard Show. Was Pacino in A Few Good Men? Was a blind Pacino?
Okay, who did he say? Who
That's
said
on a
what?
hot
In
tin
what
roof.
movie?
Let's keep going. Let's see how long it takes you to get.
Play it again.
I think did he win an Oscar? I think
Yes.
he won an Oscar
Yes, he
for
won
this.
Best Actor.
Yes. Bull Durham.
No.
Good answer.
Put it on the
Raging
poll.
Bull. Raging
Put it on
Bull.
the poll.
Raging
No.
It's a bull movie.
Just naming De Niro movies.
Red Bull. I don't know.
Put it on the poll. Was a blind Pacino in Bull Durham?
Chicago Bull.
And put it on the poll as well. Was a blind Pacino in Raging Bull? First of all, it's a really random thing to have stick in a Dolphin.
I say it all the time.
No, but it's been for 30 years. That movie's 30 years old. I don't want to tell him what the movie is. Keep guessing, Greg. Keep trying to guess what the Al Pacino. How many Oscars has Pacino won? Because he
A Few Good Men.
You already guessed that, and we already told you that it's not A Few Good Men.
Okay.
And you're not man enough to handle the truth.
Right. Okay.
Classic line.
It's got a military theme to it. I just can't come up with a
It's
name.
not a military theme, but I think he's a former military guy.
Okay,
And
that,
He was a colonel.
There you go.
Patton.
Colonel Sanders. I don't know. I'm never going to get it. I don't know movies.
Wow, it's his only Academy Award.
The scent of a
woman. See? I told you I was going to get it.
Your son had no idea where that sound
Where I
was
get it
from. This is
really?
2 generations of idiot. Pop culture idiot.
I knew it was Al Pacino.
Greg, you cannot listen to
De
what you
Niro.
just did for the last 4 minutes and say that that is some sort of expertise that you're bragging about.
First of all, I speak for moviegoers in general. Al Pacino and De Niro are always interchangeable. They're always mistaken for each other. They're the same person.
De Niro could not have been the devil.
They've won the same awards. They're like the same people.
They were only in one scene together, like in their movie careers.
I know, but they're parallel lives. And you know it.
Put it on the poll. Do you often confuse De Niro and Pacino, and you know it? At
And you
Lebatard
know it.
Show.
You're going to have to wait for that one.
Exactly.
That was staggering. Even by the standards of the Greg Cody Show featuring Greg Cody, where your son Michael asks you movie questions and you flail and fail and get them all wrong. Even by those standards, that was an amazing amount of ignorance.
Nick, before we let you talk about the Steelers, you're in luck because we have the Love Doctor. The Love Doctor is here. He is ready. He is in his office right now. Dr. Greg Cody getting everybody ready for Mother's Day this weekend. And we have questions. The Love Doctor is going to have the answers. Who's up first?
I know a lot of people are going to come to you and they're going to want to know, how do you keep it interesting? Me, I'm not interested in interesting. So how do you keep it predictable? How do you keep it ho-hum? How do you just let it just be?
Was that Jason Tatum asking that question?
Young lady, you are my kind of gal. That's my lane. That's my lane of romance. I invented predictable. Nobody has perfected the art of dull routine like yours truly. As a matter of fact,
if you've been with us a lot over the last 5 years, you've sort of seen us struggle to get up from a bit of an audio enterprise into a video enterprise that is now going 3 hours live every day. And when I say it's 3 hours live, I don't think that many of the people who are listening to this sort of remember in all of the changes that happened around here that there was a point toward the end at ESPN for the better part of 18 months or so where we were basically doing 32 minutes an hour. Everything else was commercials. So what you were getting of us was a lot less than what you're getting of us today when we're going mostly commercial free through those 3 hours. It ends up being a lot more content than what it is that we were doing when we were encumbered by radio. So I remind you again that we're doing this for a while. It's going to be everything we're doing here between 9 and noon is going to be live, and it's going to come with without the safety net. So what happens is that Jeremy has a bit that he's been bothering me about for, I'm going to say, 3 months that he's wanted to go to. And I haven't gone to it for 3 months. And then we go to it, and the sound doesn't work on it, and I never want to see it again. Now I have a very bad reaction to what that is because
Tony sabotaged it.
I don't.
I sabotaged it. Oh, it was me.
I don't trust us going to a lefty when I'm doing that, and that's what ends up happening. But part of the fun of live for us always at ESPN, I'm going to say the most fun, the thing that made it most dangerous, is that we could sink into the mistakes in a funny way. I'll let you know when we learn how to do that here. when that happens, when we're throwing it to an audio clip and a bit.
Just so you know, back here, the appetite to have fun with those mistakes has always been here.
Okay, well, go ahead then, because I don't want to do the segment anymore. So go ahead and have fun with what I'm going to call
so mad.
What I'm going to call this mistake.
No, your tone's great.
Go ahead and have fun with this mistake.
I stayed several hours after the show on multiple days for that video.
I wasn't ready to have fun, and then Dan went into his thing, and now, woo, let's do it.
You dry humped him, Dan. Sent him to the pen. He started warming up. All of a sudden, you pull him out of the game. Like, what are we doing?
Go ahead, have fun with it. Show me what you got. Show me how you.
Oh
can
no,
have
this
fun
is
with
helping.
this
No,
game.
that's a great way to do it. Just keep throwing your arms in the air.
I'd like to see you have fun with this segment. I not wanted to do this segment for 3 months, and then when I go to it on a very busy day, that's how it goes.
That's all right. All right, here, let's play it. Let's all have fun together.
Let's have fun!
I'm having fun. Play it. Standing at 6'8", 220 pounds. Wait, 6'8". He is the wokest of the woke. An ally through and through. Diversity is our superpower. Climate change is real. Our favorite lefty, Jeremy Taché.
I got a top 5 female-led comedies from the last 10 years.
All right.
OLI, Rough Night. Number 5, Girls Trip. Number 4, Lady Bird. Number 3, Bottoms. It's a good movie. Number 2, No Hard Feelings. Number 1, Booksmart.
That's fun.
Are you eating?
Yeah, you told me not to talk anymore, so.
Well, I thought it was part of the bit. You're coming out of the pen, you got chew in your mouth.
Yeah, I thought it was gum.
Yeah, that was the bit.
I thought you were a chaw dog.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get back to Greg Cody's catchphrases here because we're at number 70, improbably and implausibly. Months after starting with number 50, we're now at number 70.
Yeah, not a short bit.
But again, I'm going to say that again because of the absurdity of what's happened here. Months after starting on a top 50 catchphrase list, we are now beginning with number 70.
Yes, the bit that keeps on giving.
Number 70.
Number 70, I'm fuller than Vern Fuller. 69, where's my click, click? 68, hey, Butterfinger up. 67, punt. 66, Scranton. 65, I'm busier than a one-armed paper hanger. 64, George up. Georgia. 63, I'm the kind of guy that's 62, balling the jack. 61, hey, hey, we're the monkeys, baby. 60, thank you, Billy. 59, I love him like a pet. 58, who made it a salad? 57, we're rolling now, huh? 56, your brain beating me. 55, let's hear it tonight. Let's go States. 54, driver comfort is paramount. 53, dummy up, save up. 52, catches catch can. 51, doesn't make it right. 50, so on and so forth. 49, very good. 48, the Little League theory. 47, nice hat, asshole. 46, the others, they all learn from me. 45, don't go showering to try to please me. 44, look at that jerk. 43, it's like a packing house in here. 42, what'd you learn? 41, hee-haw, 3, badap. 40, I'm not going to take a quiz. 39, sassafras. 38, would we break a window? 37, hello. 36, who won? 35, trailers for sale or rent. 34, you got to eat a peck of dirt before you die. 33, 3 words, we are the Lobos. 32, you're going to go to Buffalo with Bernie Parmalee. 31, Rappy Cack. 30, another crisis solved. 29, nice chatting with you. 28, he ain't heavy, he's my blank. 27, hey, that's what I'm talking about. 27, my favorite, by the way. 26, who let a pet?
If it's your favorite, why isn't it at the top?
Yeah, a lot of good material here. 26, who let a pet? 25, good on ya. 24, dancing swords. 23, QK, quick crap. 20, 21, blanking it. And now
2021. What just happened there? Did you just
told us earlier that.
What happened?
I don't know. I'm confused on what is 20 and what is 21. What is 22 as well?
Okay, 23 is QK quick crap. 22 is bang.
Of course.
21 is blanking it.
Oh, so this is a new one. 21 is blanking it. Is that a new one or is that not?
You were out last week.
That was last week.
Okay.
Okay, now the new ones are number 20 and number 19.
Okay, I have a number of different questions here.
The list feels a little bit degraded because you have so many great ones that were in the 50s, but now they're in the 70s.
Yeah,
like
so
I'm the
many
kind of
great
guy
ones
that
left. So many great ones left, Tony.
I know, but still, like I'm the kind of guy that deserves a better fate than 67 or whatever it is.
Yeah, okay. That's
Nice
the beauty.
shot with you.
Isn't that the beauty of lists, though? The debate.
Should I make my list for your list?
You could do that. Take my top when all is said and done. Take my top 70 and rework it into your.
Wait, do you want to be the righty?
How about this? Would Greg Cody be willing to make it a top 72 list in honor of Richmond Webb, who's not number 72?
No,
that's not my best moment.
We'll move it to 78 after.
Right.
All right, so we are now in the top 20, and you're alleging that we're going to stay in the top 20 because a couple.
The final top 20.
A couple of weeks ago, I thought we were at number 11, and now we're outside the top 20. Okay,
Yeah,
I thought we were about to enter the top 10.
Brain beat me.
Yeah.
What number are we on right now that you're revealing for the first time on the Greg Cody Show featuring Greg Cody?
Came out Monday. Number 20. That's a fact, Jack.
What?
That's 20.
20? 20.
That's correct.
Holy shit.
That's the forerunner of all these songs ending in Jack.
How good are the next 19 going to be if that's 20? I thought for sure that was a top 10 Hall of Famer.
Well, we'll find out, won't we? And number 19. Gotta want to learn, gotta want to earn. Ooh, I like that guitar riff.
Oh, my God.
Nice.
There's no way those two are at the back end of the 19 and 20.
They're
It can't
not.
be.
They were going to be in the top 10 a week ago. That was going to make us soar into the top 10 a week ago with like, holy shit, what are these last 9 going to be? But now we got 19 more?
What else does Greg say?
Wait till you see what's left over for the top 18.
Only 9 more weeks.
Allegedly. We don't know. It might become a top 72.
Yeah,
and
by Christmas, we'll be done.
How long will this bit actually be? If we're going 70, it's 35 weeks.
Yeah.
We're talking over half a year.
Yeah, that's correct. I'm trying to set the Guinness record for longest podcast bit.
So on and so forth.
Is it longer than Chris Sims's? Didn't he give us, what was it, the top 70? He was on with us daily for 2 months because he was giving us, was it his top 70 quarterbacks that were better than who? Than Blake Bortles? Or what was it? Like, I don't remember what the bit was exactly or the numbers. Can anyone help me with it? Or
It was top 70 quarterbacks, and he joined us basically every day. He missed some, so yeah, it would probably be 3 months max.
So this is absolutely approaching on the longest bit in show history. Second, actually, only to there's never been a 50-50 poll.
Aqua?
So congratulations, Greg. You have now entered the vaunted top 5 of longest bits, and we'll see how much longer the top 20 goes because it's been amazing. And I encourage all of you to follow the Greg Cody Show featuring Greg Cody, where he unveils these for the first time before he gets to here and we get his recycled usages. He gives us the good stuff on the Greg Cody Show featuring Greg Cody.
Do you think it's possible Jeremy's lefty bit will catch Cody's list?
Yeah, that could last.
Ooh, I sure think so.
For month after month after month after month, that would work.
We're just slow playing it.
Yeah,
I liked it.
You should play it in slow motion with your voice, like talking very slow.
I want to ask you guys something.
Good idea. Let's
else,
export that now.
From the transactions from yesterday, I am genuinely curious here how the American public is going to react to the following, because I haven't quite seen a story happen this way before in my entire journalistic lifetime, and it happens to be that Pablo Torre finds out is at the middle of it. Okay, the reporting that Pablo is doing is so far out in front of what anyone else is doing on this subject matter, covering how much did Steve Ballmer and Kawhi Leonard possibly cheat in Los Angeles, and what can Adam Silver actually do when he works for Steve Ballmer and everyone's telling you the league wants to keep Steve Ballmer happy because money wins the day now in America more than ever in 2026. And what you have with this story that is just unbelievably unique is one reporter has all of the information, and so anytime he talks about this, all of the people who are interested, and they are many, go to him to find it because he's the only one talking credibly about this subject matter. So the rest of the media gets to not make a story about What's this punishment going to be? Because it's pretty clear that this is as egregious as anything we've ever seen from cheating and ownership in American sports, if it is true. And Pablo is making the case for it in a way that's bulletproof. Bulletproof enough that this company, our company, believes that the fact-based truth of the reporting is such that we're willing to invite Steve Ballmer, if he's got a problem factually with anything that's being reported, to be really threatening in a way that's personally scary to me. Personally scary to me as someone who's responsible for the people here, and the journalism has to be airtight when you're going after people who have money to make a mess for you, and it doesn't even have to be airtight when you have to fold your cards like CBS in front of the President of the United States and make a nuisance lawsuit go away for $16 million when you're in the right on the journalism and you still can't withstand the money pounding you. The reporting that Pablo is doing is vigorous and more difficult than anything anyone in sports reporting is doing. And I think they're going to end up getting away with it because of the way the things have happened in the last few days, where Lawrence Frank, who famously handled the preseason press conference with a butcher's knife after having months to prepare for it, told you a week ago publicly, we're building around Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard is a part of our plans. Publicly, he is saying to everybody, we want to keep Kawhi Leonard. And a week later, everyone's like, what? Toronto? Wait, what? How? We know everything about the transactions. This guy's a universal mystery. He does weird things. He behaves outside of the sphere of everything. Nobody really knows him. He's the most unknown superstar you'll find just about anywhere in sports that isn't from a foreign country. Kawhi Leonard is at the center of what is quite possibly the most scandalous thing you have seen an owner do when it comes to doing wrong, allegedly, as we've seen. And I don't think at this point, given what's recently happened and where it is that they'll try to bury this in the news cycle, whenever they try to bury it in the next couple of weeks, where the punishment is going to match the alleged crime. Like, because you've got the head of Toronto is the Board of Governors guy, and he's the guy most likely to make a big giant mess about the fact that Toronto had their star champion players stolen by what, if you believe the reporting, is millions and millions of dollars on the side outside of the salary cap. Like, I just can't believe that the entirety of the media isn't up and down screaming on where is this investigation and what are we going to do? Doesn't the media love a scandal? Is it that you just don't have enough information and feel uncomfortable just borrowing it from Pablo? That you can't report this with the intensity it deserves as you're just sitting here in the middle of the news stream and you just saw that another country got a decorated champion out of nowhere, quietly, and everyone's just sitting here shrugging their shoulders saying, what's the punishment going to be as it gets delayed and gets delayed and gets delayed and looks more and more obvious like there's not going to be much of a punishment, or not a punishment that matches what the reporting deserves on this?
Well, not a punishment to Kawhi, right? Which I mean, I brought up a few days ago. I don't know how much Kawhi is going to be punished. Maybe the Clippers will still be punished, like whatever. They should be. But it would appear that you can't punish Kawhi now. He's on a different team. Why should the other team, who by the way, like you said, lost him to said team in LA because of what they did illegally, you can't now punish Toronto?
Well, maybe the part of the trade is to try to make this whole thing go away. I believe the reporting, and it's backed up by Pulitzer Prize winning reporting. But at the same time, if you're Adam Silver, you want it swept under the rug. And if you're another reporter, if you're an NBA reporter anywhere else in the country, you just got your ass kicked on a big story.
But Greg, on its face, these details make this one of the great cheating scandals of its time. If it's true, that can't be swept under a rug in the modern age of scandal and journalism. In what world? In what world, with what moves, can you actually sweep it under the rug? You cannot take the penalizing system of that sport seriously anymore if what happens here isn't a penalty that sort of matches the idea. This would be, if true, and it seems like it is true based on just the facts of the reporting. I'm going to say this part again because I think it's important, because I think it gets lost all the time as people people shout fake news, and nobody knows what goes into the making of the news. Pablo's reporting risks the richest man in sports, if you get anything wrong, anything, drowning you with money that he keeps in the guest house of his 50th house. Just, you have to get everything right here, and it's got to be airtight. It is the hardest thing to do, and only Pablo's reporting on it. Only Pablo's giving voice to this. As we've told you now for years, the media is compromised by corporate interests. There is no incentive for today's media that is fighting to get all of the basketball games on their streaming networks. There's no incentive to put pressure on Ballmer. There's no incentive to put pressure on the money. As ESPN drops jobs every day and journalism gets pushed more and more out the door, as they say to themselves, understood as a business concept, I don't want to do journalism anymore. Why are we doing journalism? Journalism gets in the way of everything. Journalism muddies this up, but the numbers show that everyone goes to Pablo every time he releases one of those 11 episodes because he's the only one giving people the real truth that's somehow in the shadows that's not being covered in a way that respects the sports fan for the amount of interest and investment that they put into these things. You cannot tell me as much about federal indictments and what it is that Jonte Porter was doing and ignore that the richest guy in sports, if you believe some of this, invented some bullshit job in order to get Kawhi Leonard out of another country when everyone wanted Kawhi Leonard. And everyone's just going to shrug and say, swept it under the rug. They did it. They fooled us. They did it on a Friday. They did all the maneuvering in front of it that makes him go to Toronto, of all places. Wait, who had him in Toronto a week ago? Who had him in Toronto?
Not even Lawrence Frank. But, Dan, I think the interesting part about the reporting on this is that Pablo's an outsider, right? Like, he's not an NBA insider. He's not a guy that's connected to teams, to agents, to GMs, to the league office. He can sit out from behind the wall and be like, all right, I can report this in a way that only I can because I don't need those people to do what I'm doing, right? I can do this completely outside in a silo where if I'm one of the big newsbreakers in the NBA, like, I need to be making sure that I'm in lockstep with what I'm doing to make sure that I get my stories.
So are you guys okay with all that? Because I'll ask you guys again this, as we've built an entire company around the idea, no, we think there's still a lane for journalism. We think as everyone else goes in the other direction and 60 Minutes gets pounded by one of these rich guys, as 60 Minutes gets just to dust, smithereens, because a rich guy comes in and that's what they can do with their money. Tell me what to do about everything that I just presented in front of you, where if you want real and true sports coverage, they're going again and again to Pablo because they're like, wait a minute, why is this so much different than everything else I'm consuming over here? And I ask you this question seriously. What is the media's job around a scandal when they're compromised with all of the conflicts? If this is indeed just the hypothetical, don't even make it this one. Hey, I'm going to present to you one of the great cheating scandals of all time, period. Why is the media not covering it? Like, give me...
Because of their partnerships and their conflicts.
Well, I would have
guessed.
Is it not because of what you stated you're very afraid of?
These companies have so much more money than what we're talking about here. Like,
so much more to lose. Just to be clear, if we're all Pulitzer winners, like you've said many times, can we all get brought into a class action lawsuit? Because if so, they can have my Pulitzer. I'm good. I don't want the smoke.
So I'm talking here to Greg Cody, who cares about, like, I'm going to leave this alone because I know I sound bad, but it's both genuinely frustrating to me and genuinely confusing, though we benefit from it because Pablo Torre's podcast has the trust of its audience because he's doing the hardest thing the hardest way. Everyone's got a microphone. Everyone's got a podcast. Who's going to do it better than everyone else because they're meticulous? There are no breakout podcasts in sports unless you put the Kelseys together and have Taylor Swift involved. Like, that's not a thing anymore. There are just too many people. Podcast business, I've told you, terrible business for all but a few because there are just too many people at microphones. What Pablo is doing is hard to do. So while I sound like I'm lecturing the media, I do understand how It's really hard to have anything on this story, but I've been bothered by no one's looking. Like, there is no one trying. They have given Pablo that corner, and anyone who wants that information, and the numbers explode every time he puts out anything, they're all getting it in only one place. Do you know how unusual that is when you've got a star of this magnitude, an owner of this magnitude, and what could be a scandal of this magnitude? And you're like, where's the news here? And what are you going to do? There has to be public pressure to punish for Silver to punish. Right. Otherwise, he's just going to do what the rich people want.
Is it fair to assume that there are other journalists, like NBA journalists? Pablo's not an NBA journalist. Other NBA credentialed media, they're afraid of losing their access if they get involved in this.
That's a possibility. ESPN has done some stuff on this, but it is entirely possible that, from what I've seen, Pablo's the only person with this type of information. He's won an award for it.
I know, but
maybe other people are trying and they don't have the juice that Pablo has on this beat.
But that never happens. When all of a sudden there's an Epstein scandal, then all of the reporters gather. When there's a Joe Paterno, Nittany Lion, Penn State scandal, then all of the reporters, no one cedes the corner. Right. And this isn't a small story. You may be tired of it, but
we're talking about two different things. They may not be capable of building on the story, but I think you're absolutely right in pointing out, okay, forget building on it. What's been laid out in front of you? Why aren't we doing more with that?
Are you okay with the media being so compromised that the NBA could successfully sweep one of the biggest scandals allegedly in its sports history, or in sports history, under the table, a no-show job paying millions outside of the salary cap in order to get Kawhi Leonard?
Look, great reporting, and I'm interested in it, but there's just so much overt corruption everywhere that a salary cap circumvention in the NBA don't register.
Yeah. And fair enough. Once you've gotten to the point of Donald Trump getting $2 billion, according to him, saying it himself, $2 billion from the office, I guess we're at a place where everyone's numb to this. So what used to be a scandal before in all of America is less of a scandal now, and we're going to go ahead and say we're better with cheating than we've ever been now in sports,
I don't think we're better, Greg. I think that we're just broken by it, especially with the rich and powerful. They do what they want seemingly with impunity. I understand this is a little trickier because, yes, Steve Ballmer is technically one of Adam Silver's bosses, but he is cheating to get one over on all the other bosses of Adam Silver.
Allegedly.
This is a competitive advantage, the salary cap circumvention, which other owners would be upset about. I'm surprised that the other owners aren't reaching out to sources, driving this too. Maybe they're afraid that it opens up a can of worms because we don't know how prevalent this is.
That's the weird thing to me, is that the other owners should be in favor of punishment for this behavior because it cheats them. This behavior cheats the other owners. But it's going to be up to Adam Silver to do something. When Adam Silver metes out some punishment, then you're going to see it reported as news by the rest of the media.
Greg, but where's there to punish, right? The Clippers don't have any draft picks going forward. They just lucked into a draft pick with Ivica Zubac being traded, where they got the number 5 pick. They traded Kawhi Leonard, so the player's not on the team anymore. The contract's gone. Toronto's not going to get punished. This is the perfect crime, right? There is no punishment. Adam Silver can't sit there and be like, yeah, here's the punishment. They don't have draft picks, and Toronto's getting screwed.
Toronto can get punished. There is very recent precedent. Again, totally different crime, but you could argue, even though I would argue against it, the Miami Heat were punished because Terry Rozier got suspended for something that did not happen on their watch, right? The player ended up getting suspended. That player was not available to Miami. His value was totally nuked. So there is very recent precedent that suggests that if there is punishment for Kawhi, it lands on Toronto.
Per Shams Charania, free agent center Nikola Vucevic has agreed to a 1-year, $3.9 million deal to return to the Orlando Magic from the Boston Celtics. But speaking of the Boston Celtics, free agent guard Mike Conley Jr. has agreed to a 1-year deal to sign with the Celtics.
Can I ask you something on the Celtics front? Why aren't they in this LeBron conversation?
Ugh.
I understand the fit, and I understand LeBron's noted rivalry there, but if they have to move on from Jaylen Brown, they're in win-now mode. Why haven't we heard anything about them?
I don't think that he would ever go play for them, and I don't think that fan base would ever accept him playing for them.
Man, he went back to Cleveland after what Dan Gilbert did.
It's not the same.
He's considering going back to Miami, and that relationship, until very recent video evidence of him finally saying hello to Pat Riley, was a super frosty relationship. I don't understand. If he wants to win now, I think he can move on. It's not like Boston will be like still booing him.
Well, he's coming off a $50 million a year contract. Are a lot of other teams afraid that he's going to demand that kind of money, so they're not even in the ring?
There is no one who's going to give him that kind of money. That place does not. I should say that differently. Any one of the franchises that needs an economic boom and would like to have his last year, none of which he would ever go to because they're small and losers, those franchises would be interested in giving him money just to have the circus show of LeBron in their uniform. But among the contenders, there are none who can give him the kind of money that he wants.
Oh, it'd have to be in trade.
Yeah, it would be a sign and trade, and they're trying to find a spot for Jaylen Brown. I'm just curious why we haven't heard anything.
No, the
there.
kind of money he wants to be paid the max. He deserves the max. He's a player who's underpaid even if he gets the max because of what he does to the economy around your business, independent of basketball. He's not going to get what he wants. He's not going to be able to get the maximum amount of money allowable as the oldest player in the league. He's going to have to take a discount of some kind because there is no one to give him the money that he wants.
Theoretically, here in Miami, if the Heat wanted to do that and if LeBron wanted to do that, and you attached the salaries of Nikola Jovic and Andrew Wiggins, even potentially with a future pick, LeBron could get $46 million, which is $4 million shy of his max.
Yep.
For what it's worth.
And he says he wants the max, and he says he will not take a discount, and it's not available to him what exactly he wants, which is probably the first time in his career that's happened, correct?
Yes, and it's also just why it's total bullshit to me, this idea that he's going to go sign somewhere for $6.5 million. It's never going to happen.
He's been pretty clear on that front that the money does matter. I'm confused by why Windhorse is reporting that the money doesn't matter, because how does Golden State actually make the money to Draymond Green frees up some money, but how does Golden State put together a contract that would be worth even half as much as the one that Miami could offer?
They would have to trade someone.
Porzingis, they'd probably have to trade.
No, well, they just signed him to an extension.
The way that they restructured his deal is that now that the league year has started anew, he's instantly tradable. They wrote it into the contract.
I'm fine, Mike.
Are you okay? Because it sounded like you were running toward a finish line, and then your neck got caught on the finish line, and it didn't break. The tape didn't break.
No, I laid out so that Tony can make a really good point.
No, but it sounded like you had.
A teammate does.
What did it sound like to you, Mike? Because it sounded like
I was being a good teammate, checking on my friend.
It sounded like someone had grabbed Zaz by the neck while he was talking at the end of his point.
That's what it sounded like to me as well. Yeah.
Are you okay? Is everything okay?
I already said I'm okay. Well, I got to repeat myself.
Well, because you didn't say it right the first time. So the repeating of yourself makes it clearer because the way that you said it the first time sounded like you were being strangled.
Right. Zaz was being
we're still
choked.
talking about this?
You were being choked by the same person who left that donut on the floor.
So I have more information on this. They've shown me some security footage, and we have two culprits. One of them might be surprising. The other one will not be at all. So who is the betting fan? Wait a minute. Well, as I was saying betting favorite, Mike just stared at you. Mike simply stared at you on betting favorite. If you have to pick a betting favorite, one name on who left the crime scene of a quarter of a donut on the floor 10 feet from a garbage can, Greg Cody, your nominee for betting favorite would be?
He may be related to me. I hate to say it.
Okay. Jeremy, what would your betting favorite be?
Obviously, Zaz.
Mike, who would your betting favorite be?
It's a dude presently resting his arm on his belly.
I changed my mind.
Tony, who is your betting favorite?
Gino.
Wow, okay, went off the board. Roy, who is your betting favorite?
Oh, of course, it's Chris.
Yeah, it's Chris Cody for me, too. And I have not been given the information. I saw Frankie security here since we were at the Clevelander. Frankie was howling with laughter while he was pouring through the security because this investigation is going to reveal who the culprit is. Who's second place, though? You have everyone to choose from out there, everyone in the company to choose from. Second place betting favorite to Chris Cody on leaving a donut on the floor like a Wolverine. Roy, who would be your second choice?
Probably Zaslow.
And the entire company. Do you have a second choice here, Greg Cody? Do you have a second you'd vote for? Because I think everyone's going to find this surprising. I'm already telling you that it's surprising, so you shouldn't choose Zaslow. That would not be surprising.
I'm going to have to say Dan Le Batard because very often the one who's accusing others is the one who's guilty
The smelted delta theory.
That's right.
Whoever denied it supplied it.
Yes, exactly. Well put.
Mike, second place for you on the list of culprits?
Ethan.
Wow, out of left field, that one.
I am stunned that none of us are even close on this.
Rose?
Ooh.
Yeah. We've got
it's Rose.
Yeah.
Really?
So yes, the two culprits. We have some grainy video here from surveillance. We have not used surveillance video since
That's Kristen, not Chris.
awkwardly hugged Josh Norman at the Clevelander. But Rose,
Now we have Rose.
Rose,
No way.
yeah, I mean, she can shovel food into her mouth. She
Or
does,
eat, as people say.
No,
Heaping
no,
maw.
but it's
Chow
not,
down.
no, see, that's
So she's taking a bite of it. Seems to be going
Loose
towards the
self-action.
garbage.
Okay, so
is a
that
Bruder film.
so yeah, that's garbage. That's the garbage can. Ooh, so we've got more footage here.
So I ate that out of the garbage.
I don't know where you ate it out of, but there is footage that also accuses you here as well.
It was hovering over
Yes.
the lid. You
It's on
know?
the top, right?
So
like the
we
eclair.
just saw a video
Over the
of
cylinder.
Rose throwing away what looked like a portion of a donut, and it does seem like we've got more here that accuses others. We'll find out because I have not previewed any of this footage, and I don't know what else it reveals.
There's Ethan now. Come on, pick a wedgie. No, he's walking over to the
So
sink.
Ethan is around the sink and he is hovering, and
He's got the donut box in his hand.
He's looking at the camera.
Why is he
Why are they
looking
doing that?
What's
okay,
happening
but
right
that's
now?
not helpful at all. Okay,
weird.
So, all right, I'm going to stop.
Oh, now
going.
Jesse's walking over.
Is this part of the investigation?
Okay, this is.
Oh, this is when he discovered, hey, who did this to the donut?
Hey.
Yeah, he's pulling out like, who would be so inconsiderate?
Okay, but here's the thing, though. I thought that the donut was placed on the floor because someone had thrown the donut on the floor. It was placed on the floor by others to make the accusation of who left half a donut
won?
in a box that was not eaten. And so now what Ethan is saying is it's clearly Rose. It's clearly Rose did that. She left half a donut, but she didn't leave it on the floor. She then took it and threw it in the garbage can. So our investigation is flawed and the police are corrupt.
Why doesn't the rest of the media care about this?
It's a big story.
All we've done is expose Kristen taking a bite of food.
The only thing that I know is that Chris possibly ate a garbage donut.
Yes.
Team player.
See, so this
Quite
is
the conflict.
So in general, our planning around here, you may have noticed, is a little bit poor. And what it has resulted in is Chris going for the joke of I need to eat things no matter what. Had one of the best visual jokes you've seen on our show recently where he infiltrated and contaminated what was clearly a crime scene by eating a donut off of the floor. However, it was over a napkin at the time. What he didn't know is that donut was clearly fished out of a garbage can and then placed on the floor, making it dirtier than it even was when it was merely on the floor.
Still tasted good.
It was strawberry, right?
Delightful. Still taste the sugar.
Do you still have that bacon as your bookmark over there? Do you still?
No way. Oh yeah.
He's been using bacon.
Yes.
Oh, look, this time
It's a bookmark.
you
right.
put a napkin as
Yeah.
okay, but I thought you put it in greasy and Pride of a Lion. So you're saying that's the best bacon you've ever eaten? Still, 2 hours later, more?
Here's the great thing about bacon. It's wonderful hot and it's wonderful cold. In between, no. I don't like mildly warm bacon. It's got to be hot or cold. This is really great. Okay, you get no bend, no flop.
Color's like a catcher's mitt.
What is the perfect bacon? Can you explain it?
Right here.
Yes, thank you. But for the audio audience.
Christ.
The right texture, the right thickness. Sometimes it can be too thin. If you can almost see through it, you don't want to eat it.
Thin.
You want this shade of red. You want this shade of red here. The fat line on the corner, you want it to be a combination of crispy and chewy. It has to be that really in between. Oh,
Oh God!
Like heaven on earth, baby.
Are you ready to do your catchphrases? I heard there's some controversy around the. It's the Greg Cody Show featuring Greg Cody. He is counting down his top 50 catchphrases of all time. It has been a successful months-long joke. What is the controversy surrounding your catchphrase list? What is the issue?
It's big. The controversy is that based on quality demand, the catchphrase countdown has suddenly increased from a top 50 to a top 60.
What?
That's
What?
right. And it's controversial.
Of course it is. You told us it was a top 50, and we told you. We told you it was. We told you it was something you were making up as you went along, and that you weren't going to get the numbers right. And now you just changed it.
He botched it to such a degree that there are so many good ones left that we're just pushing all
I
the
knew
current
that was going to happen, though. That's exactly what we were saying.
Your brain beating me.
How did this happen? What was the ruling? What did the committee get together and decide? How did it happen that it got expanded? Now, no one's going to complain about this because more catchphrases is great, but we told you this was going to happen, and we told you this was a sloppy list by you.
The others, they all learn from me.
Yeah, right.
No, I looked at all the catchphrases remaining, and there was only 14 left, but there were like 20-something good ones. So I'm like,
thank you.
Let's go.
Wait a minute. So how did you do it though? Are there now? Is there now a new list 50 to 60, or
No,
what are you doing?
everything that's been said is just like what was 50 is now 60.
Yes.
There were 14 left, and now there's 24
So we're
left.
not in the top 20
No,
anymore?
now we're at 23
we were
and
in the top
24.
20 of the countdown, and now we're at 24?
I'm telling you, they're bangers, though. There are just bangers
There
left.
is nobody that's actually upset about this development. Come on.
You've got to honor the list,
I'm
though.
telling you, I got a peek. I don't know the exact order, but I got a peek of what the top 10 looks like, and it is just banger after
Yeah,
banger.
Yeti hated it. He's against it.
Yeti thinks that we should just make him live with the world he gave us.
Should.
Like,
I mean,
there's-
I asked you several times throughout this whole process. Have you thought this out? Have you planned out the list? You know that there are 50. You kept assuring me that you have it all under control.
Driver comfort is paramount.
Wrong. You know, part of the beauty of me is a bit of serendipity, a bit of
You're the kind of guy.
unpredictability. And so the same is true with this list. Okay, whenever you have a countdown, controversy is good. You want somebody to say, that sucks, that should be lower, or that's, wow, I can't believe that's not higher.
So wait, so what used to be 50 is now 60.
Yes.
So we've gotten fraudulent rankings up to now. All the numerical rankings we've gotten up to now are all wrong.
He can give you the updated, like number 60, he can give you the update of whatever.
I know, but they're all, every previous incarnation of this that we have given the American public and internationally has been wrong.
I would say adjusted more than wrong.
Adjusted.
Maybe to Greg's credit, too, I've never heard of a top 60.
Thank you.
Well, how do we know it's not going to end up being 62 because he's going to think of two more on his way home because he didn't plan any of this
It
out?
would never be 62. It could bump to 65. It would never be a number like 62.
We would obviously go in fives, Dan.
Here's also the thing. This is a big question of mine. So you have left 10 out, which is why you are expanding it from 50 to 60. But the 10 that you left out are automatically like they're in the
top
top
24.
23. You're saying top 24.
But I'm telling you, he left bangers out.
Right.
This had to be done, guys.
Yeah, it had to be done, like he says.
Again, it doesn't have to be done if you're dealing with a responsible person who plans it
That's
at the
true.
beginning, as opposed to just making everything up as he goes along.
No, listen, and we're in the sports business. We should know this better than anybody. Rankings always change. When I was born, everybody agreed Babe Ruth, greatest player ever. Not so much now. Rankings
That was when I was
change.
growing up. It was a hot debate. Everyone agreed, though. Babe Ruth, that young kid's got a future.
It was an argument back then on sports radio. Tris Speaker or Babe
Yeah,
Ruth?
that's right. Lou Gehrig was in play.
This telegram in, your thoughts.
I have to go back to Chris Cody here because I'm not sure that I knew this. I have to go back. So you're married to an identical twin.
That's right.
Okay, I have questions.
Go on.
First,
not too many questions.
Well, I know your father's sitting right next to me. It's a little weird. Okay, so first question.
No wonder they're into swinging at that house.
Were you always able to tell them apart?
Not at the beginning when we were just dating. Her sister has like a beauty mark on her face, so I was like, mine's the one without that.
Okay. My next question is, a lot of times, your wife or your girlfriend will be like, you think my sister's attractive, don't you? You clearly think her sister's attractive.
That's right. Undeniable.
If you think your wife's hot, you think her sister is hot.
My sister-in-law's hot.
That's
There, I said
crazy.
it.
Right?
I've never said that to her before.
No, you got to say that, though.
Well, you must think she's hot.
But Zaz, here's the deal. Everyone with a hot sister-in-law thinks their sister-in-law is hot. He's the only one who's allowed to say it out loud. That's the difference.
That's true. That's true.
Not like the rest of us are like, oh, my sister-in-law is terrible. Like, if you got a hot one, you're like, oh, my God, she's hot, but you just can't say it out loud.
Yeah.
The other one was taken.
Papa Cody, wait a second now. You experienced this. I mean, do you find one more charming than the other?
At the very beginning, I too had difficulty telling them apart.
But do you like, now that you've gotten to know, presumably both of them pretty well, do you think that your boy made the right choice between the two?
I have to say that. I mean, of course he did.
Oh, my goodness.
Of course he did.
Now.
I love my daughter-in-law, but they're eerily alike.
Now,
not just physical.
What I'm about to admit now is a little embarrassing.
Go on.
There are times, in marriage, you're going through,
We know.
you're like,
we know.
it's just, this is
I don't like where this is headed.
I don't either.
Where sometimes you just like, if you're trying to keep things fresh, you just imagine it's the other person.
Oh, no.
That's an unbelievable admission.
That
What's the matter with you, man?
I didn't hear
Suey. Hey, guys in the room outside, mark that down.
For
Suey
the record,
revelation.
did everybody see as one of society's great empaths? Did you see me try to get in the way? Did you see me try to dive in front of that? He refused. He went. He plowed straight ahead.
You guys never struggle, huh?
Your wife clearly does not listen to this show.
Sure doesn't.
You got
in hell
no worries
what
that
did you
this is
just
getting
say?
back to her.
Tony, how you feel about that admission?
Not great. Yeah, not great. Even though, admittedly, Chris says that his wife doesn't watch the show, which is good, right?
Very
so he
good.
feels like he can shoot from the hip here and not really be taken to task, like Dave said. Very good. But the issue is, sometimes some things are so flammable and so big that they peer through the veil of Chris saying, "Oh no, my wife doesn't watch the show," where she's like, "You said what?"
That was
Bigger than the show, man.
Bigger than the show.
Let's not clip this if we can.
That was an incredible admission.
It really
Greg,
was.
what did you make of all that?
A little bit unfortunate. I wish he hadn't said that. It could come back to haunt.
You guys never struggle.
Well, in the context of this show, you can always say, I was just kidding. Of course I was just kidding. But will she believe you?
I was.
Okay.
quick update. We were discussing Kevin O'Connor last segment and his comments on the Heat, and we saw guitars behind him, and we wondered, are those just for style?
No, Chris, your father accused Kevin O'Connor of being a fraud, and said he didn't play guitar, and said he's done the reporting on it. It wasn't unclear. Your father called Kevin O'Connor a guitar fraud.
And I did some reporting on this, and I saw that he has a Twitter account that he calls Kevin O'Catch These Riffs, in which he releases videos of himself playing guitar. He hasn't released one since 2021, but they do exist.
Curious.
Why wouldn't he?
Long time between riffs, no?
Greg is right there. Like, it is a long time. It's been 5 years. You haven't posted anything?
No, wonder why not.
But what would that
Strange.
mean?
Yeah.
I'm going to get to the biggest game in the history of U.S. men's soccer in a moment. But before we do that, I wanted to bring in Jessica here and have her settle some conversations and disputes we've had around here, because Greg Cody just left the room moments ago and announced, I've never eaten half a donut. Put it on the poll, please, at Le Batard Show. Have you ever eaten half a donut? And let's start there with Jessica. Jessica, you are a famous eater. And you like these kinds of goods too. So a donut, have you ever eaten half of one?
Never.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I don't know why you're thanking
Why
her.
is that something you would thank someone
Because
for?
Jess is supporting me.
Thank you, Billy.
You don't eat half a donut. A donut's not that. It's a snack. F that. A donut's that.
I
big.
love eating a half a donut on a Monday. You know, the diet always starts on Monday. You see the donuts on a
So
Monday.
you eat a donut?
And you know what? Let's have a good week. We're gonna have a good week here. We're gonna eat a half a donut.
Okay, right.
On Thursday,
Did you
I'm
guys
eating
have
3.
donuts today? Is
Yeah,
that why this
I
is?
wish.
Oh,
Yeah.
what? Were the cupcakes gone? What's going on there?
See, the media is totally burying this story.
We had an accusation filed that someone had eaten half of a donut, and we found through surveillance footage that it had been Rose. We thought we had a lot of accusers. We had a lot of people who we thought were guilty. We did not have Rose as leaving half a
Dan,
donut.
it was more than just half of a donut. It was 3/4 of a donut that was eaten, only a quarter of the donut left. So half a donut normal because you can cut it in half. But somebody cut it into 3/4 of a donut.
And the real breakthrough in our investigation was later on in the show when Chris Cody ate that donut off the floor. He had no idea that it was a garbage donut.
Yeah, it had been put in the garbage, yeah.
Okay, so 1/4 of a donut left tells me she said, I'm only going to eat half, and then it was so good.
And Robin, is Robin a superhero, yes or no?
He wears tights, I'd say yes.
Fork or knife for pizza? Fork and knife for pizza, yes or no?
Claws, hands. I'm using my claws.
Fork and
Maybe even
knife.
my feet.
Fork and knife for donuts, yes or no?
Never.
Best comedy of the last decade.
Bottoms.
Worst musical instrument.
Oh, I thought the question was going to be worst instrument. I was going to say the speculum, but musical instrument, I'll go with the clarinet.
The clarinet as worse than the harp, worse than the bagpipe, worse than the accordion?
I mean, by far, yeah. It connotes Squidward to me.
Worse than the harmonica?
The harmonica's great. What are you talking
Harmonica's so cool, Dan. You're off base.
Harp
Yeah, you
is
get the
awesome.
blues.
It's dumb. No,
Stevie
harmonica's
Wonder.
terrible.
You ever hear of Bob Dylan?
I think harp is like top 5.
You ever hear of Bob Dylan? Put it on the poll at Le Batard
I almost
Show.
said that. Greg and
Stevie
I on the same
Wonder.
wavelength today.
I'm being told that you are and I did not have you being this, you are an internet bully, that you are somebody who grabs the pitchforks and runs off people from the internet by shaming them. I would not have guessed that you would ever be that person. What happened to make you that person?
Well, you could go back to the C asterisk days, Dan, when I may have accidentally bullied someone. I didn't mean to, though, but I retired my internet bullying days because I didn't want to be in the middle of an internet melee like that anymore. But then something happened this week, which I think I feel bad about, but I don't know. Maybe you guys can tell me if I should feel bad about it or not, but it involves the World Cup and its most famous fan.
This Freddie person you guys have been talking about, is he the
That's
most? Is he the most famous fan?
Well, to be famous, you have to be recognizable. No one knows what this gentleman looks like.
That's true. Internet famous, I think, is its own category. I'd say he's the most internet famous. So, Dan, I don't know if you've been following his escapades. We have mentioned him on the show a couple times, but he's a German fan who has been tweeting his way through the United States in shock and awe of all the wonderful things he's seen, such as the Buc-ee's, which we talked about a few weeks ago. But he really reached like peak American experience internet grifter territory this past week. Like, he's getting free stuff from celebrities, like JJ Watt's involved somehow. Like he really kind of reached a peak, and people started getting annoyed with him because he was like going through small town America and tweeting about how wonderful America was, and just doing the types of things that, like, you know, the CIA would do if it were perhaps the 250th anniversary of America this upcoming weekend. They wanted to make people aware of how great this country was. And so there were a lot of people, it wasn't just me, it was a lot of people online saying, like, this guy feels like he's like a psyop. Like, this doesn't seem authentic anymore. It doesn't seem like he's a German tourist who's in the United States for the first time, experiencing things for the first time. But Dan, as I'm sure you know, Germany lost the other day. They lost in the knockout round, so they're out of the World Cup. And Freddie is, of course, a fan of Germany. So he tweeted about his disappointment in this, and he had tickets throughout the World Cup to go to all of Germany's matches. Like, he was hoping that they were going to at least make it to this upcoming weekend. But he tweeted his disappointment, and I quote tweeted it, and I said, "Back to Langley you go." Now, I was not the only person making CIA jokes about Freddie, but I was the only person who David Cavucci, the author of Foyaball, who's been on Pablo Torre's show before. This guy likes to do internet deep dives on people. Famously, he FOIAs athletic departments and writes about it on his college football newsletter. But he went back and went through some of Freddie's Twitter history, which, as we know, is never a good thing, and found a tweet. And this tweet revealed that Freddie had been in the United States before, and in fact, may have been in the United States a number of times before this trip. So some of his wide-eyed admiration for the United States started to seem a little phony. But then if you really read the tweet where he is admitting he's in the United States, it actually gets worse, because this tweet is about Americans using the N-word during rap songs at concerts that he's been to. And it's from 2023. So he got milkshake ducked pretty abruptly. And then within, so I should add context here. David found the tweet, quote tweeted it, that blew up, and then people started digging into some of his other older tweets. So then he completely deactivated his Twitter account. And so when I woke up yesterday morning and saw that he had deactivated his Twitter account, I didn't think it had anything to do with me until I read this week's newsletter, in which it appears that David Cavucci finding my tweet calling him a CIA operative was what spurred him to go back into his Twitter archive. And so I indirectly led to him deactivating his Twitter account.
And ruined something it sounds like you guys were enjoying when you go straight to PSYOP. So you're giving this person...
We stopped enjoying it, Dan. We stopped enjoying it. It was wide-eyed enthusiasm. Even that Confederate monument that he passed by. We could argue he didn't know it was Confederate. It was fine. It was fun. But then he would start landing into towns and started going with the travel issues. I'm not going to get to see Germany. And then a line of companies and celebrities. Freddie, we got you. Freddie, we got you. We're going to help you out. And he's just posting all the cool stuff that he gets without ever posting himself. He wants all the benefits of celebrity while remaining completely anonymous throughout the entire thing. My questions immediately were like, is this a plant? I could see how it could be a plant. And then he kept acting like a plant.
But a plant.
And then before he deactivated his account, he's like, I'm going to go back to anonymity. I have the influencer life is not for me. Funny that you tweeted that from a G6, my man. And now he's deactivated. I'm not saying he's a plant, but this is plant-like behavior.
You guys are on the spectrum here from plant to military operative. Like, what are
Who
you doing?
Who do you think's planting them?
Intelligence operative, Dan. I think that, if you wanted to drum up enthusiasm about a very unpopular World Cup and drum up enthusiasm for European tourism coming to the United States and being impressed and enthusiastic about what the United States has to offer, this is probably what it would look like. We've seen, I'm sure, Dan, you've read all these articles about these bot farms and all of these marketing companies that are creating fake engagement to make things go viral. Now, this is a whole thing using AI and technology to create fake viral things. So people are on guard. And I don't think that that's wrong. I do think, you should have a healthy amount of skepticism and cynicism about everything. And do I actually think Freddie works for the CIA? No, in my heart, I don't think he does. But I do think he was doing this thing called farming or aura farming, whatever you want to call it, where he's exaggerating his reaction to things to get reactions from people. And so he was able to do this. And now because of the way that our algorithms work and the attention economy works, Dan, he's able to get benefits from these things that most people don't have access to. And so that's, I think, what turned people off to him was well, now JJ Watt's getting him a luxury suite at a hotel in Houston, and he's getting offers to ride in private jets, and he's getting his, everyone has issues with travel domestically in the United States, but he's getting special treatment. So I think that pissed a lot of people off. And then also the accusation that it wasn't authentic, whether, you think he's a psyop or not, or you just think he's lying about his first time eating Raising Cane's or whatever it is. I think people really got turned off by the whole experiment. And then when you add on top of it these tweets where he revealed he was in the United States before and also thinks that in the United States, it's fine when everyone yells the N-word at concerts during rap songs. You can see why, if he's a real person, he's I should delete my account and get off Twitter. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people, not myself, and that's why I'm asking, I don't know if I should feel bad about this. They're saying, well, we knew something didn't smell
real thing, but there was nothing ever to humanize this person. There was no selfie, hello Twitter world. There was none of that. And here's my prediction.
Right.
He deactivated his account, but we don't know what this person looks like, sounds like. We don't know anything about this person, or other than he went to a concert and the N-word was flying around. I think this account comes back. It obviously has value. Someone can assume it. You'd be none the wiser. He has made money off of this. It's like the Dove NFL account. He can have this person or whoever created this account is going to be able to make money off of this, sell it to someone else. Either they become one of these, prediction market accounts and influencer accounts. They could start showing their face. You would never know, Greg.
Jess has done Pablo Torre style investigating here. I think she deserves a Pulitzer Prize for ferreting out this guy.
$5
because
for
let me
coughing
tell you
into the
something.
mic
Way to
that
interrupt
way.
me. Let me tell you something. This is the biggest scandal since the Kevin O'Connor guitar scandal.
Oh.
And I think you have exposed this man.
$5.
It was incredibly rude.
You know what?
Not a hard scandal to
This is great
overcome.
because I need to break a 10, and I didn't know how to do it, so now I can do it. This is great. It worked out great. Are you kidding me?
Worked out, but it was a little rude. I didn't like the stone.
I know.
What did you need to break a 10 for?
Well, I tipped $5 to the valet downstairs.
Oh, okay.
And if we're being honest, he usually tries to break the 5.
I don't want to get carried away and give a guy $10 for a minute and a half's work. You know how
I
that
miss
goes.
that guy.
Jessica, I'd like for you, please, to inform me, because this is something, a distinction you just made. I thought that PSYOP was always military adjacent, not just intelligence agency.
They've ran a couple on you then, huh?
So PSYOP is not always military?
I think they're, I don't know if the distinction is
It's psychological
necessarily
operations.
important.
It's not a military
Yeah.
operation.
Understood, but when she kept saying
I get what
PSYOP
Dan's
again and
saying.
again, I'm wondering, how did this internet person become not just an intelligence agent, but a military operative who's working with intelligence? That's what I do with PSYOP. But I'm genuinely asking you because I don't know. I think I'm getting it wrong.
I think of something, is the CIA completely separate from the military? I would
Yes.
say they work
It's an
together
intelligence
quite a
arm.
bit.
They work hand in hand, but that's the intelligence.
Yeah, so I think you don't need to. I don't think you need to make a distinction, Dan. It's all for the cause of promoting the United States in this case.
Let's move on to other subject matter here, because I am just curious. I don't know where you are. I don't think you've joined us from this particular setting. New York is for New York.
I have an investigation. That's South Carolina. There's a Clemson logo in the back.
You're correct. I'm in South Carolina right now, but this has been probably the greatest June in the history of New York, Dan, because of the Knicks. Obviously, the World Cup has the city abuzz. But Dan, what do you know about that Commissioner's Cup last night? Huh?
Sabrina
Great month for the
Ionescu.
Libs. There you go, Zaz. So now we've got a possible scenario where Mike, were you the one that called it the domestic double, or what were we calling it?
Yeah, the Knicks won the treble. They won the NBA Cup, the Eastern Conference, and the NBA championship.
Okay.
That's a treble.
So we could get that for the Liberty as well, although their playoffs are differently set up. But we could get a Commissioner's Cup for the Liberty and then a Liberty championship in the same season that the Knicks won the NBA Cup and then won the NBA championship. Dan, that would be... I think this would go down as the greatest year in the history of New York basketball in the city. I don't know how you could top it.
Where is your fiance in terms of being still sedated from the Knicks winning? Is he an altered human being? Is he still floating around a little more sunshine than usual?
I asked him about this the other day because I was like, you seem like you kind of have just resumed your typical behavior and feelings and emotions about things. And he was like, no, I have basically thought about it every second of every day for the last 2 weeks. And I said, okay, fair enough. I think there's consternation about like what's going to happen with Mitchell Robinson now and the aprons and all of that.
I have Mitchell Robinson news.
No, what is it?
Free agent center. According to Shams Charania, Mitchell Robinson has agreed to a 3-year, $47.4 million deal to sign with the Boston Celtics.
Whoa.
Wow.
Oh. That's going to bring down the vibe a little bit.
How would the vibe work? I mean, they're reigning NBA champs. We've spoken to Knicks fans. They never wanted in on LeBron, and all that stuff was justified. Yeah. They won the NBA championship. Where are you on this LeBron thing? Miami, Cleveland, does it impact the Knicks at all? Do they even care?
I think maybe, yeah, it definitely impacts the Knicks. I don't know how much they care really because they won a championship. Obviously, you get addicted to winning. You want to win more. Was 2 enough for Heat fans during the LeBron era? Of course not. You wanted not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4. Dan, remember famously. But I do think, yeah, he's probably going to end up on a team that they will kind of been like, okay, cool, yeah, that's fine. And it would have been more fun for the Western Conference to have him there. But yeah, Mike, I don't know if it brings down the mood per se.
Quick follow up then.
Go ahead.
Are we pathetic?
Yeah, obviously.
For wanting LeBron back and falling for it all again? Because Dan says this is legit. It's got traction. That this is Miami's plan. They're going for it, and it's been reported that Miami is in the mix by all the reputable insiders. Are we pathetic?
Yeah. Yes. I don't know. I'm not saying that this is why you're pathetic, but just in general, yes.
Yeah, I realize that I
the
gave
key
you
was
that.
always under the mat. So, I mean.
Oh, good callback right there. That was a confused Pat Riley 5 years ago during Freedom, getting fined $25,000 while saying the key was still under the mat for LeBron. So he was fined tampering, and he had a glass of wine while he was doing it, and it cost him $25,000. But I'd asked him about
amino acid.
But I asked him about Dwayne Wade, and he took it to LeBron. I think he got fined for tampering for misunderstanding my question, didn't he?
Well, that's probably not a good thing, Dan. You shouldn't
not
tell
great.
people that.
Yeah, I think that's what happened. I don't remember entirely. That night is a bit of a blur. The Madison Square Garden, is it going to indeed house the wedding of Taylor Swift? Are there going to be that many people at her wedding? And what do you think of that is that real?
I think it's real. I think like media outlets and journalistic outlets are operating under the auspices that this is happening and they're ready and prepared to cover it. And it's going, I read recently the latest, Dan, there's going to be some sort of Thursday small venue thing, party thing. And then Friday would be this huge 1,000 person plus multi-hour event inside MSG, including a castle is being built inside or something like that.
I read that.
Look, I'm not saying, I just mentioned C asterisks in this segment, so I'm going to be careful about what I say. But people are throwing around the word tacky. And I'm not, but other people are.
I will. Tacky.
Ooh, careful.
It's
Jeremy.
tacky.
I'm not throwing that word around.
I do love how Dan has people sitting in section like 128. Like I'm pretty sure they're gonna like set it up so it's like just on the floor level.
but it's a pretty terrible setting for a wedding. Like no matter how you're doing it, that's an awful setting.
I saw some renderings that I believe have to be AI of what it could look like, and it looked magical.
I mean, yeah.
Huge news!
Seismic! The Florida Panthers have signed Ratko Gudas to a 6-year contract, $1.5 million per year.
Talking about.
How many years?
6 years at $1.5 million per year.
The annual value is fine. Thank you.
That's what I'm talking about.
Man, I thought this was going to be about LeBron. You guys really got me.
Check out her weekly Notre Dame podcast, The Echoes.
This is not an echo chamber.
With Mike Golick Jr. Congratulations, incidentally, to the Golicks. Headed back to ESPN Radio. Love them as a father-son team, and I'm happy to see all of that get reconnected. It's a very difficult media time, so it's very cool to see that a father and son can continue to make really great and fun content, and they go back to ESPN.
Thank you.
And I'm sorry to lying to Zaslow last week when he texted me and asked me about hearing that rumor, and I said, I don't know. I haven't heard anything.
I understood what was going on. You didn't lie to me. I brought the info to you. I clearly knew.
Yeah, they offered that to Christopher and I. We turned it down. But I'm glad for the Golicks.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong.
Thank you, Jessica. Appreciate the time.
Nice chatting with you.
Wow.
The Los Angeles Lakers are acquiring Walker Kessler from the Utah Jazz for unprotected first-round picks in 2031 and 2033 and swaps in 2028 and 2030, where Kessler will sign a massive 4-year, $130 million deal with the Lakers. Wow. They only have white people.
That guy's getting that much?
Pretty good.
That guy.
I know, but
But they also gave up 2 unprotected picks.
That's crazy.
All right.
The Lakers have lived a charmed existence. I'm going to go ahead and ask you guys to do this off of memory here and see what you can do. Can you guys go ahead and give me the last Laker team that you guys can remember that hasn't had a star on it? A legitimate superstar.
Yeah. Right after Magic left, and I feel like Sedale Threet was their best player for a couple of years.
Eddie Jones,
mid '90s.
So mid '90s, like that run. Okay, no matter what, think about what just happened in New York. Okay, New York's a plenty big city, so whatever credit you're giving to Los Angeles, what an amazing run of superstars they have had in Los Angeles when you can transition fairly effortlessly to Shaquille O'Neal, to Kobe Bryant, to LeBron James. The Doncic thing, the way they redid that team at the end of LeBron's career is a fairly amazing achievement for the Lakers to always be in the superstar game.
Dan, I actually brought this up on my podcast yesterday. You can go way before that, all right? It's Jerry West to Kareem, to Magic, to, that small period that I just referenced, to Shaq and Kobe. And then it was just Kobe, and then LeBron, and now Luke. Like
they had some slim years between Kobe and LeBron, by the way.
2017 is rough. I'm looking like Julius Randle.
That's true. They had like 2 years where it was Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, Josh Hart.
My bad. I thought that I'm just remembering Kobe forever. Like I just feel like there's a Kobe stretch there where he asked to be traded to the Clippers, and that was as turbulent as it got. But the point stands on that team and that city are able to reinvent themselves in a way that's a bit crazy. I want to move on to something here, even though we don't do much in the way of previewing. I do want to honor and talk about for a second the game that the United States plays this evening, okay? Wherever it is that you are in American soccer, and if you've been listening to this show for a while, you remember how excited we got about Landon Donovan scoring late and the United States men having an achievement that, while it pales compared to what the women have done, having an achievement that made it feel like soccer from that moment on was going to do nothing but grow in America in a way that would make it so that when this World Cup arrived, we would not be having to summon some lost-to-go momentum. We would have 20 years. What is it, 15 years? I don't know. I have my timeline screwed up, so you'll have to help me on when that late Landon Donovan goal was on an uninteresting United States team that everyone knew wasn't going to go anywhere, and they were going to have to win by 1 goal in a low-scoring game because we didn't have any firepower. But it was the beginning of, Landon Donovan's going to be an American soccer star. We're going to have stars in this sport, and we're going to matter and compete against the world. The 20 years since have been, if not a drought, really disappointing at every turn. This team so far, I think you can make the argument, even an easy bracket in a host country, has properly achieved. The games have been more lopsided and they've looked more impressive than I thought they were going to look in the first 2 games. Offensively, very good. This game ranks where in American history? This one game, a winnable game, the last of the winnable games. They will be underdogs the rest of the way, almost no matter who they are playing, I believe. I believe this is the last of the games that they will be favored to win. I do not believe that the first 2 games are as real as the last one was, where they're capable of losing a game defensively and easily to a team that isn't that good, because it is a team you don't totally trust. But where are we on the size and the stakes of today's game?
Well, the last game they lost in group play was to Turkey because they had 8-9 different players. They emptied their bench in that game. They didn't need to win and played like it. They're going to beat Bosnia, and it's their biggest game until the next one, because I disagree with you when you say that the next game they're going to be an underdog. I think against either Belgium or Senegal, they're right there. All 3 teams are in the rankings between 10 and 20 in the FIFA World Ranking. So if they beat Bosnia, which I expect, they can't lose to Bosnia unless they're overconfident.
Will they beat Herzegovina?
They'll be both all at once. I say Bosnia, B and H, whatever. The next game will be the biggest game, because if you beat Senegal or Belgium, and all of a sudden you're in the quarterfinals, you have arrived.
You can't do the next game before you win this game. This game, do not look past. Are you crazy? Are you crazy to just look past this game, given the history of American soccer?
Yes, because this is a different American team. This is the best American team I have seen. This is the best American team I have seen. Bosnia is ranked number 61 in the world. If the U.S. loses tonight, it will be a deflating experience.
What's Herzegovina's ranking?
This is crazy.
61.
Mike, what he's saying is crazy, because I don't believe that you could look at American soccer and do the overconfident expectations of see you in the round of 8.
So this is a new round. This is the knockout stage, but it's an expanded World Cup. So the United States has been further in this tournament because this is a newly invented round. But I think what is so exciting about this match is the bracket opens up nicely. I kind of do think we'll see what happens today. But, I mean, the U.S. did just beat Senegal, and Belgium has not impressed me. And when you factor in home field advantage, I think the U.S. can be favored in those. We'll see. But it's huge because what's in front of them, because they can make a true run to the semifinals. Biggest game, I think the one against Belgium, where Tim Howard kept us in that one, was bigger when you consider the opponent. There was a 4th of July matchup, I think, against England that was on the line a little further in the tournament. And in 2002, different expectations. It was across the globe in Korea and Japan. But in 2002, they had a round of 16 match against Mexico, their arch rival. They beat them. They got to the quarterfinals against Germany. And if they beat Germany, they would have been in the semifinals. And those people that know American soccer know they got totally hosed on the goal line because Torsten Frings had his hand and he hit down a sure goal and got away with it. They would have been in the semis in 2002.
I thought the previous to this one, biggest win in U.S. soccer history is when they beat Jorge Campos and Mexico in 2002. I thought that was for this century, that's the biggest thing that we've had. The beating of the rival, Mexico. It was a low-scoring game, right? It was 1-0?
The 0-2 run was like a fever dream because all the games were at 3 a.m. and they were beating Portugal, and they're getting results against Portugal and beating their arch rival Mexico, and no one. It was on the heels of a disastrous World Cup in 1998 where the U.S. just burned up any of the momentum that they had from 94. So we had a young team. Nobody expected anything. So I think when you apply that context to it, yeah, you could make a solid argument, even though this is a round of 32. That team that went up against Belgium had some talent, right? I think that Belgium one's just a notch above that, but if they get into the next round, that's the biggest match of all time for the men.
Biggest game in 20 years.
Is it?
It applies.
For sure.
What?
Yes. Biggest game in 20 years.
Tonight?
Biggest game in 20 years.
Oh, no.
Biggest game in 20 years.
Tonight is the biggest game in 20 years.
Biggest game in 20 years.
And
Yes,
Greg
sir.
Greg will be that hammered for it.
Oh, what? I'll be
Biggest
wearing
game in 20 years.
wearing my U.S. shirt. I tell you that. That's my home team. My home team doesn't play in Miami. My home team was the U.S. MNT, along with the women's team, which was a lot better.
Oh, Saints!
Biggest game in 20 years.
All right, let's ratchet it up right now. Over the last 6 minutes of what we have in this hour, let's ratchet up the flames to the greatest thing in sports, okay? Patriotism
6 minutes.
with your sport. 6 minutes, yes. Yes.
That's a long time for
Yes,
Chris.
it is.
6 minutes
That's
of
eternity
added
for
time.
Chris.
Clearly, he's exhausted already thinking of having to do 6 minutes of enthusiasm. Content for tonight on what was mentioned is the biggest game in 20 years.
Biggest game in 20 years.
The best thing in sports. The best. Better than a surprise, better than an upset.
For 6 minutes, you're going to need a nice little 8-beer buzz, Chris Cody.
At least.
The best thing in sports is patriotism. There are any number of reasons at the moment
Go on.
to be down on a divided America where the states
Never mind.
don't seem
What is
united.
this guy doing?
Stop talking.
It's July 4th week, Dan.
We've got
250.
we've got a green pool near the White House.
This
We've
guy.
got
They've cleared it
This
up now,
guy.
Bubbles.
we've got an incredible,
Antifa.
great fair
You got
that
that too?
has fewer people than your average Flanagan's.
100-yard box cutter.
You've got cockfighting on the White House lawn, and the rest of
Hey,
the
that was great.
fighters were
Hey,
also
stop that.
fighting.
That was great.
And stop hitting me up about the eagle, all right, and the 11 stars. It's looking the total
It's
opposite
gold.
direction.
It's gold.
It's not the same.
You may not be as proud of America as you once were. However, tonight, wearing the colors of your country in sport, the United
Right,
States
citizens.
is favored to win a game that will produce the next biggest game in 20 years.
Biggest game in 20 years.
And I demand that this crew of people and the American public that loves sports rally behind this team and soccer in a way that it has not yet done this century.
I want to get there, but may I offer just one cause for concern? Christian Pulisic, off injured, worried about him, already missed some time in this World Cup. He's near that electrical substation.
Oh, what?
The 49ers won?
The game's being played in Santa Clara.
They're moving there. The 49ers are moving. Colin Cowherd called them brittle, which is a funny thing to call an NFL team. He called
They
them
were
brittle.
famously brittle.
No, they
Our
get
most brittle soccer player, the guy that we need to be great to get to where we want to get to.
Pulses in his ass.
what?
Oh, what?
That's what
Travels up, Dan.
That's what it would sound like. What would it sound like if I took a pulse and did it pulsed Greg Cody's ass?
Oh, what? Oh, what? Oh, what? Oh, what?
Comes the cough.
Oh, what?
Only 3 more minutes.
Oh,
You're gonna
what?
kill him.
Oh,
Hey,
what?
what are we doing here?
Oh, what? Oh, what? Oh, what? Oh, what?
Yeah.
Oh, what?
Very good.
Oh, what?
Scranton.
Let's go.
2.5 minutes left.
All right, now Chris is ready.
I appreciate that.
Too thin.
Greg has been doing that sound.
What?
That sound for 40 years. I've heard.
Yeah. I would have been on the catchphrase countdown, but I couldn't figure out how to spell it. How do you spell that?
So wait a minute. It's not in your top 20?
Well, I'm not saying. I mean, we haven't announced that yet. It could be.
What?
It could be. You know what? It's a top 71.
It's adding. It's adding.
Top 71. Okay. Oh, what?
What is it supposed to be, Greg? Is it like parrot very good, or is it like a different animal?
You know what? Tony's onto something. I think it may be related to very good.
It's like usually the rah, into a very good.
You should know.
Maybe.
It's a good point by Tony.
You did. You fogged up your glasses. That is not where I expected to end up, hyping up the biggest game in 20 years in American soccer. We've derailed into, I don't know when that started. I know that I've heard it since the Herald newsroom.
Yeah.
I have heard, you have been making that sound, and I'd like to know the origins of it, and I don't think it's in your top 20. I'm guessing you forgot about that sound, which you have made for more than 40 years.
You know, it's a variation of when you say something surprising to me, and I go, "What?" It's just it's sort of a taking that and leaping with it.
So it took us a few minutes, and by a few minutes I mean a few hours, but we
Still a few
finally
minutes, though.
found the Roy video, the terrible interview with Sergei Bobrovsky, where he went on an expense account to Canada and came back only with a guitar riff.
Been many All-Star games, and right now you are in the All-Star skills competition tomorrow. You're in the one-on-one competition, and you probably don't know what's going to happen. So are you just going to go ahead and have fun? What are you going to do?
Yeah, to be honest, I don't know what happens in the next hour or so.
So as we bring Juju aboard here, I do want to mention the most recent report from Shams Charania that LeBron James is willing to take a minimum contract with the team that he signs with. I think that's just PR. I think it's just, hey, I'm willing to go to the team that makes me happy, best chance of winning, et cetera, et cetera. Money's not a thing. That doesn't mean that he's going to sign for the minimum.
Do you think if it is true that would level the playing field between Golden State and Miami?
No. I think it has to be about. It can't be about just the money. Like, I think it has to be about winning and comfort level and the way that he's going to fit on that team. So I look. The Heat are going to wind up offering him, I believe, they're going to offer him like $30+ million because they have the ability to make a trade with the Lakers for a sign and trade. Ultimately, I think whoever he signs with, it's going to be for some dollar amount like that.
I think one of the things that gets lost here on how complicated these transactions are and how much you have to extend the superstar in these instances. We told you of the reports that Giannis Antetokounmpo, whose feelings were hurt at the end in Milwaukee, wanted a seat at the table in Boston. And Boston was uncomfortable with that. He's got a seat at the table here. Before he comes here and before all of that happens, in order to convince Giannis of how it is that it is a good idea for him to come to Miami, you guys should know that all of these pieces and plans are put in place with him, discussed with him, and of course, at this point in his career, the specifics of how Giannis would want this built, if Giannis could get LeBron James, you don't think Giannis would want that? Like what just best guess on what Giannis would want and how he would want it. Those conversations have already been had. These agents and these economies that move cities like this, there aren't many guys like this. There are not many, probably less than a dozen. Shaq was the first time Miami actually experienced this. He gets to town, oh, look, Shaq's in charge. Like, it happened like that, where Shaq comes in and he's like, yeah, I'm not on your media schedule. We're not doing things. I come here with all of what my resume is and my past is, and this is how I expect things to be here for me. And then the organization had to sort of shape-shift around him because Shaq was a monster star unlike any that they've ever had. They've just got another one. Like, he comes in here with a whole bevy of managers and plans on what he wants the next 4 years to look like on his money making. Giannis isn't here to take a small swing, and he's not here to wait a year either. He's already wasted the year. This year is not about wasting that year. We're going to bring in Juju now to talking about an assortment of things, including the updating of the polls. Juju, what do you have for us, though, in terms of fresh ideas, new topics, some things that we should have talked about today that we did not talk about?
Yes, sir, man. First of all, I'd like to say, Viva la Mexico, man. Everybody knows if you're my closest friend or any of my friends, you know I'm 1% Mexican, and I flaunt that to the highest ability, you know what I mean? Salute to little Mexico. Rest in peace, young Scooter. But I got a little movie date coming up with the old lady, and we always get to pick our seats before we go, and we always just want to get as far away from people as possible. But in that process, I thought, movie theaters, I got an idea for you. Whenever someone comes to the counter and buys a candy or some Twizzlers or anything that has a wrapper, unwrap that, pour it into a little container, maybe napkin lined, and then give it to the people. Therefore, they're not opening up the packages during the damn monologues.
Great idea.
This is great. It's applause-worthy.
That's a good idea.
This is innovative.
Applause-worthy idea. Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Is the idea to pour the contents of the movie theater box into a tray applause-worthy?
Yeah.
Is it? You think that's that good an idea?
Yeah, a lot of
This would
times,
save the movie theaters.
Well, and a lot of times, you're opening the box of candy that you have, but it's totally dark. You can't even see what you're doing.
It's like pour the Raisinets into a cup.
Yeah.
So you're just eating it like popcorn.
A napkin-lined bucket tray situation. Think of a small fry from the football game. They give it to you in a little tray, throw some napkins in there, bada bing, bada boom.
Great idea.
It's been a second since we've gotten some entertainment options from you. What are you recommending these days in terms of television shows that people should be watching or anything streamed?
Oh, yes, sir, man. I got the top 5 TV shows that you should be watching right damn now. No OLIs. Number 5, Sugar.
There's a shocking
With
plot
my-
twist.
The twist
plot
in
twist
Sugar.
in season 1 of Sugar. Shocking.
Mm-hmm. Salute the CF, and the F stands for Pharaoh. Number 4, I Will Find You on Netflix. Oh, yeah.
Can you tell me something, Greg? Do you know who Colin Farrell is? Can you name anything that Colin Farrell has been in?
I've heard the name. I could not name anything he's been in.
You want to try and describe what he looks like? Do you have any idea what Colin Farrell looks like?
Heavy-set Englishman.
You must have saw the Penguin.
You asked me.
I did.
Am I right?
No, you are not
Oh.
right.
Okay. My bad.
Number 3, Cape Fear on Apple TV.
Juju, you like it? I just
Girl.
finished Widow's Bay right now, so I'm moving to Cape Fear next.
Yeah, Widow's Bay and Cape Fear, they seem like they would be the same. Cape Fear is the real deal. Widow's Bay was playing with us. You did.
I saw the first look. It's got great acting in it, and Javier Bardem is almost always good. But having seen the original Cape Fear and then watching the writing in the first of those episodes of Cape Fear, I checked out. I'm like, the writing on this is really hacky. Like, it's not. The actors are great, but the writing is not very good. But anyways, I'll give it another chance. Number 2.
Ooh, Dan, you ever thought of writing a script? You are one of South Florida's best writers in history of the world. We should hop on that. Doggy ear that idea. Number 2, House of the Dragon. Girl.
It does make everything better. The guitar riff does. It really carries us. Number 1.
And the number 1 show you should be watching right now, man, me and my brother Greg Cody definitely agree on this. Love Island. Oh, Casey, Anaya. Oh, my goodness. Sincere is not living up to the name, Greg. Am I right?
Loving it.
Did I just see you give a Greg Cody first down on Love Island? You just gave another Greg Cody.
Another Greg Cody first down.
Go ahead and give us the polls here, Juju. What do you have for us in the way of updates?
97% of the audience says no, they don't.
Oh, what?
Of all the colors, does blue have the most range of colors? 75% of the audience says yes, it does.
Oh, what? Oh, what? Oh, what? Oh, what?
If your jersey were retired, would you let your son wear it? 58% of the audience says no, they would not.
Oh, what? Close vote, though.
Right. Also, did y'all hear the Ben Simmons to Miami? Zaz, what you think about Ben Simmons in Miami, bro?
I mean, I think the team has to want you. It's not really always just the other way
He's
around.
like, yeah, I'd love to go to Miami. It's like, we bet.
I'd like to play for the Heat also. See how that goes.
Hello. Are you a creature that cannot be trusted if you're using a knife and fork on a donut? 88% of the audience says yes, you are.
Oh, what? Oh, what? Oh, what? Oh, what?
Worst thing to use a knife and fork on, a donut or a slice of pizza? 75% of the audience says a donut.
Oh, what? Oh, what?
If you're eating a slice of pizza with a knife and fork, should you be kicked out of the establishment? 70% of the audience says yes, you should.
Oh, what?
All right, enough of that.
Sicilian pizza, thick or thin? 55% of the audience says thickum.
Too thin.
That's it.
Right. When you start with a top 50 list, should there be 70? 53% of the audience says no, there shouldn't. Have you ever eaten half a donut? 58% of the audience says yes, they have.
Niggas gave me 20 years.
No way.
And last poll, you ever hear of Bob Dylan? 85% of the audience says yes. And those are your polls.
Thank you, Juju.
Before we get out of here, much prayers to, and love. Salute to them, as well as our brother Danny Glover, who just revealed today that he's been living with Alzheimer's. So salute to those brothers.